We'll start out offensively for Saskatchewan. Rocky 2. Well, the Butler returns, I guess. Rocky Butler back at the helm for Saskatchewan. We'll see if he can be effective and not turn the football over. Defensively for the Riders, no Moss. They limited Jason Moss last week, really controlled him with that 12 for 27. See how the defense does that tonight here in Hamilton. For the Ticats offensively, no place like Holmes. On one point, we have Corey Holmes at running back who needs to be effective and touch the ball. Secondly, 2 last home games, no touchdowns. They need to change that offensively. Defensively for the Tiger Cats, man in the middle. Steve Josal needs to play extremely well for these Hamilton Tiger Cats. He's got very good lateral movement, and the coaches really believe in him. He's tough, and he's a thinking man's middle linebacker.
It's an overcast evening in Hamilton. Temperature mild, winds coming out of the northeast, and we have a chance for showers throughout the evening. The Tiger Cats won the toss, and they've taken the ball to start this game. For Danny Barrett, his team coming off its most impressive win of the season last week with a 46-15 win over the Tiger Cats. But after the firing of Roy Shivers and the turmoil within that team, you wonder how they're going to come out here tonight in this rematch game. Ron Lancaster's Tiger Cats trying to snap a 2-game losing streak and break out of that home scoring drought in which they've scored but 2 points in their last 2 home games. And for Lancaster, it's simple, he says, get some first downs and tackle the guy with the football. Tonight's broadcast from Hamilton presented in HD. And so Luka Kanji, with the lowest average kickoff in the league, will send the ball short again, bouncing at about the 30-yard line at the 29-30 and out of bounds. And so the Ticats will get to spot the ball at the 45-yard line. Great field position for Jason Moss, who completed just 44% of his passes last week in Saskatchewan, got the hook, and did not play in the 4th quarter, following perhaps his worst performance as a Tiger Cat quarterback.
Yeah, talking with Coach Lancaster before the game tonight, he really, I mean, most games it's important to get off to a good start, but really for Jason, it's been emphasized this week. Complete your balls early underneath, in the flat to your backs, and get some confidence going offensively.
And so Moss will open with a 5-receiver set. Brock Ralph motioning to the short side. And the handoff is to Josh Ronick on the ground, straight up the middle. Nate Davis and Fred Perry are in on the tackle after a short gain on the play for Ronick.
Well, let's take a look at the Hamilton offense in the backfield. Josh Ronick with his first carry, but really Jason Moss is the key to this offense at quarterback. Needs to play well for the Tiger Cats to score points. And maybe that's all we'll look at for offense.
Second down and 7. Tiger Cats in the shotgun. Moss facing a 5-man rush, throwing quickly downfield, and it's in behind his intended receiver, DJ Flick. And after his first incomplete pass, they're already booing here at Ivor Wynn.
Well, it's a miscommunication between the quarterback and receiver, and here we see the receivers. He was trying to throw to DJ Flick that time, miscommunicated with Jason Moss and didn't complete the ball. Up front, really look at Damian Cook at right tackle. I think the Riders really exploited him a bit last week. He needs to play well for the Tiger Cats and Jason Moss tonight.
So Pat Fleming will punt. Jason Armstead and Dominic Dorsey back after missing last week's game with a concussion, standing deep to receive this punt. And Fleming is having a great series the last few games. Hammers this one inside the end zone over the head of Dorsey. He'll go back to pick it up 15 yards deep and get a no yards call on the Tiger Cats.
I was about to say they had just scored half of the points they've scored in their last 2 home games, but they took an undisciplined no yards in the end zone, which is going to negate that potentially.
Fleming averaging 43 yards a punt last week, 47.7, and he got all of that one into the end zone. And now Jeremy O'Day is being explained the options here by the referee tonight, Andre Proulx. An 81-yard punt from Fleming.
Fleming's punt, 81 yards.
No yards. Hamilton 29. Penalties decline. Result of a play is a single point.
Well, they got their single point because if they had taken the penalty, they'd have to bring it out to the 10-yard line. So the offense opted to take it out 35 and gain field position.
It was Lawrence Gordon, the rookie out of Florida Atlantic, making his first CFL start and learning the new Canadian rules. Trial by fire. Here's Rocky Butler, the number 3 quarterback, who came off the bench when Marcus Crandall dislocated his elbow in the first half, and he hands off to Armstead around the outside. Oh, and he's clotheslined by the new man in the middle, Steve Josu, making his first ever start at middle linebacker in place of the injured Bobby Brooks and Augie Baronicia.
Well, Josu doesn't bite on this fake at all. There's a fake up the middle for a dive, and he stays. And that Coach Lancaster said before the game, he says, hey, this guy can move side to side laterally. We didn't have that a week ago. We didn't have that earlier in the season. But boy, does he chase down Armstead on this play and make a heck of a play.
Josu was cut in training camp, trying out for rush end. He's played rush end and linebacker, outside linebacker, in college, but never in the middle, and he makes his presence felt here early. 2nd down and 8. Butler under pressure, firing it complete to Armstead at center field. He was wide open, and a big gain and a massive first down on 2nd and 8 for Saskatchewan.
Well, look at the lineups offensively for Saskatchewan. Kenton Keith, those 148 yards a week ago, he's going to get the ball a lot tonight, so we'll hear his name often. There's receiving call, Jason Armstead, we've seen him early, running the football, just an explosive receiving core. Dominguez and Armstead being the go-to guys. And then up front, we look at Mikowski, who's played in 150 straight regular season football games for this Rider team, dating back to 1998.
Yes, the Iron Man on that veteran offensive line. Play action pass now. Butler under pressure, firing again, diving for it. It's complete to Matt Dominguez. And another big strike through the air. The leading receiver for the Roughriders, and a 23-yard catch.
Wow, he puts this thing right on target where only Matt Dominguez can catches it. Low and away from the defensive back. That's a great throw. I mean, fortunately, he read the coverage, saw no free safety in the middle, so he could lead Dominguez as far as away from the cornerback as he wanted to. And he's really off to a great start.
Dominguez back to the place where he blew out his ACL in week 2 a year ago here at Ivor Wynn and missed the rest of the season. This time, Kenton Keith up the middle, and it's slow going there. He's quickly wrapped up by Joanne Armour, filling from his Sam linebacker position.
We'll take a look at this Cat defense. It got ate up by running the football for the Riders last week. Cotton and Cheat would have to contain this week. They got beat outside by the quarterbacks last week. You see Josu at middle linebacker already playing well early. Look for him to have a good game for the Cats to control the Rider offense. And in the secondary, Sandy Beveridge got to be looked at. He's the one that was burnt on Kenton Keith's 80-yard touchdown reception.
2nd and 9 in a bunch formation with a double tight. Butler with time out of the backfield, and it's dropped. Kenton Keith at full speed dropped that one, and he was wide open.
He was wide open. He had one-on-one coverage with Steve Josu, and they exploited it. He was open, had about 3 or 4 steps on him. Just couldn't complete it. I like what the Ticats have done defensively.
Here's Luka Kanji, who has kicked 18 consecutive field goals this year to tie for 5th in that department with the great Don Sweet of the Montreal Alouettes. Good on 20 of 21 so far this season, and attempting this one from the 34-yard line. Butler the hold. Kanji has the kick. It's up and good. And so Kanji extends his field goal spree to 19 in a row as the Riders take a 3-1 lead.
The CFL on CBC. Brought to you by General Motors of Canada and all its divisions. By Rogers Wireless. Rogers brings you the latest MP3 phones. And by Future Shop, Canada's #1 destination for big screen TVs.
Performance team this season.
CBC Sports and Sony Canada are proud to bring you today's game in high definition from the stadium to your living room. Sony brings you the full power of HD. Back at Ivor Wynn, the first Saskatchewan drive ending in a 34-yard Luka Kanji field goal. And the rookie from Waterloo, one of 3 players drafted in the '06 Canadian draft to start for Saskatchewan will kick it off with Holmes and Willie Quinney back. And it's Quinney catching it in the air at the 30, breaks outfield and is finally dragged down as he crosses the 42-yard line. You know, nobody wants to win more than Jason Maas. We talked about that off the top, and I was talking to him yesterday, and he said, you know, bottom line, I didn't even want to do an interview today. This was yesterday. I just want to get out and play. I'm tired of talking about what we need to do. And coming here as the marquee player to lead this team, to finally have a team of his own after having to play behind Ricky Ray, he is dying to find some success. Roddick gets the handoff up the middle. He's tackled by Nate Davis, and there's a flag on the play. Josh Roddick has had one 100-yard game this season. That one in Winnipeg when he rambled for 164 yards, but the rest of the year he has 146 yards rushing in total.
Yeah, that's just not consistent enough for the Ticats offense to be effective. They need some type of running game to take the pressure off Jason Maas.
Holding. Hamilton 65, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
That's Damien Cook, who we were talking about at the beginning of the show. At right tackle, he struggled last week. I think they really beat up on him fairly well, and you see him coming around. Yeah, he makes a tackle from behind, which as an offensive lineman, you don't want to make too many tackles during the game.
And so another penalty here early, pushing Hamilton back. 1st and 20 from the 32. Play action. Maas looking for a screen, and he's sacked. Drops the football. Fred Perry picks it up and runs it to the end zone. Touchdown, Saskatchewan. Oh my goodness.
Touchdown, Saskatchewan.
And fate frowns on Jason Maas again.
Wow, they're looking to throw a quick screen, and he doesn't have it right away, and his on-the-field decision-making just doesn't happen here. You have to get rid of the football. You don't want to take that sack. You certainly don't want to be dangling the ball in one hand, as Jason does right here. Okay, play action, look right, not there. Look middle, not there. Throw it away or eat it. Can't dangle it with one hand, and there's Fred Perry, who played such a great game last week. 9 sacks on the season. Now he picks up a fumble recovery and scores.
Here's the point after from Kanji. It's up and good, and just like that, the Tiger Cats take another step back, giving up the touchdown on a fumble recovery by Perry. Fred Perry was runner-up as Defensive Player of the Week last week to Charles Alston of Edmonton, and making a strong case this week early.
Well, I'll tell you what, Nate Davis makes this play. You gotta follow Josh Roddick right there and what he does. They pump the quick screen out to Corey Holmes. They're going to look for Josh Roddick, but there he is right there, covered by Nate Davis, a defensive lineman trying to rush the quarterback, but sees the running back coming out of the backfield, setting up the screen, covers him. And then, you know, that's at the point where Maas should throw the football away or take the sack.
Last week, Fred Perry had a sack, an interception, a pass knockdown, and 4 tackles. Now he's got a fumble recovery for a touchdown, and there's the long snapper, Jocelyn Fournette, down, but smiling as Ivan Gutfriend, the Saskatchewan trainer, attends to him. He missed last week's game, and Mahoney had to come in, Mike Mahoney, and do the long snapping duties for Saskatchewan.
Well, another quick series where we see a Saskatchewan O-lineman after the point after have a cramp in his calf.
But as an offensive player, what's going through Jason Maas's mind right now? He got pulled last week after he fumbled the ball, and it was returned for a touchdown by Eddie Davis. And here he is in just the 2nd series, and things go bad again.
Well, the talk, you know, from the coaches and from Jason Maas was get off to a good start. How important is it to be confident early, right? We talked about that at the top of the show, at the top of the game, and now he's got off to this start. He fumbled it, and it's returned for a touchdown. Now it's gut check time. All right, well, nothing else can go worse than that. So it's time to start moving the football as we look at Joe Paopao, who not only suffered through watching that offensive performance last week, but also had a broken ankle to boot.
Yes, he was in an air cast yesterday and using an upside-down golf club as a cane, making his way around practice. But
what club was it?
I don't know, it was a 3 or a 4 iron.
It had to be one of the longer irons.
One of the longer irons, yes. So Fournette making his way off the field.
No, but to your point, that is not the way you want to come back home after being thumped in Saskatchewan and show your home fans that you've turned it around and you're ready to play some football.
Corey Holmes, last year's Special Teams Player of the Year, will not get his hands on this pooch kick as Kanji sends it high to the 50. It's fumbled, and it looks like Saskatchewan has it again. Yes, it's Rough Rider football on the second consecutive fumble by the Tiger Cats. Brock Ralph looked like he had it and dropped it. The sure-handed receiver and the rookie, Shermar Bracey, recovered it.
Brock Ralph is in the second level back here, and we'll watch him come and try to jump high for it right there. He has it in his hands, and it slips right through. I mean, this is Saskatchewan obviously saw something in the return team for the kickoff of the Ticats that they could take advantage of. That's a coach and coaching staff that's looking for ways to win each week. Ticats have to be prepared for those situations.
Well, last week, Holmes only got one kick return because Kanji kept making those high pooch kicks. Butler hands it off to Bracey. He turns around and is pulled down as he crosses the 45, and there's a flag. It'll be holding against Saskatchewan, and this one's coming back. Bracey came into the lineup last week for the first time for the injured Dominic Dorsey, and the rookie out of Arkansas State had 8 carries for 50 yards in his CFL debut.
Yeah, just over 6 yards per carry.
Saskatchewan number 60, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Not quite what Kenton Keith did, but look at Rocky Butler last week, 7 for 15. And I thought, well, you know what? If you have a week to prepare for Rocky Butler, you can really give him some problems. But early in this football game, he's reading the defense well and throwing it well.
And when you have a third-string guy like Butler, a quarterback, it's reassuring to have the likes and the legs of Kenton Keith and Shermar Bracey in that backfield.
Absolutely.
Motion now. Armstead to the wide side in the shotgun now. Butler firing in behind Fantuz. He makes the catch and is wrestled down across the 45-yard line. The Heck Crichton Trophy winner from Western a year ago, and there they are in section Q. His family, his mom and dad are there along with his brothers, and 40 friends and family have come here.
You'll see him, just the inside receiver, 101. It's the 3 receivers to the left side. He has 101 coverage from this backup defensive backfield, and there you see Andy Fantuz.
One of 3 picks in the 06 Canadian draft in the starting lineup here tonight. Second down and 7 for Saskatchewan. Butler, short drop, looking, can't find anybody, and he's caught for a sack. And it's Tim Cheatwood with his 5th sack of the season.
Not bad on Rocky Butler's part. Certainly very good for the Tiger Cat defense. The first option, not there. Look away. Second option, not there. Don't force it. Don't turn it over. And he tucks it and tries to run. Hey, that's fine. That's what you want from your quarterback. Don't turn the ball over.
Jocelyn Fournette is back in at long snapper after being banged up on the last series.
20-46.
The sack by Cheatwood forcing Saskatchewan to punt the ball away. And Kanji, with an average of just 36 yards, is being outpunted at times by a full 10 yards by his rivals, and he shanks another one off the side of his foot, bouncing at the 20 and deep inside the 5. Holmes reversing his field will get a no yards call against his former team, and he's dragged down at a 2-yard line. You're watching the CFL on CBC tonight in HD.
Welcome back to Hamilton, where the Riders lead the Ticats by a score of 10-1. And you know, there's no shortage of advice for Jason Moss these days. The consensus is you gotta relax, but he's very intense. He says he can't change. He says some of the best games he's played this year have been when he's been his most intense. He says the only way I know to be successful is to be hard on myself. He goes, even if I wanted to change, don't know if I could.
Thanks, Brenda. Right now his offense has minus 15 yards, and that'll help get them out of the red as DJ Flick makes his first catch of the football game and goes out of bounds at the 15-yard line and a gain of 6.
Yeah, here's a great call back in your own end. You go 3 receivers to the right side, 1 receiver to the left, DJ Flick, and you get man-to-man coverage, and you just put them on a nice safe route, either a hitch or a quick 5-6 yard out route like this. Picks up 8 yards, and now you're in a nice 2nd and 2. Good call offensively. That's what I expected to see a lot of from the Ticats early.
The last 2 years, DJ Flick led this team in receiving. A high snap there, and Moss gets it away, completes it to Holmes. He fumbles the football. Perry fumbles it, and now Saskatchewan falls on the football. Another turnover indeed. The 3rd fumble, and it's Reggie Hunt. Now the question is, did Holmes have possession? Is it worth a challenge?
Well, I'd like to get another look at, but I'll tell you what, get the ball to Holmes, get the ball to Holmes. Moss makes a great play just getting the snap. Now it's a broken play, he makes something happen, delivers it to Corey Holmes, and it's just punched right out.
Omar Morgan punched it out.
He's a smart, experienced defensive back, and then once the ball does come out, and we'll take a look at it right here, let's see if he has possession. Can't tell from the backside there. It does look like he has possession. But the Ticats still have a chance here. But who are the guys fighting for the balls? All Riders. You got to hustle after that thing. It doesn't stop once the guy has the ball and received it.
And Ron Lancaster has thrown the challenge flag at the Hamilton bench, and now conversing with Andre Prue.
Hamilton is challenging the ruling on the field of a completion pass followed by a fumble recovered by Saskatchewan.
You know, my feeling is, and I feel the rule is as a receiver, that once you catch it, it's not a reception until your feet land onto the ground.
Right.
Now this ball was punched out before his feet went to the ground. You know, maybe making me think that no, he didn't have control because his feet weren't on the ground with the football.
Well, it's a
reach.
No, I agree with you, and it's a desperate move here. I mean, they've got to make the challenge. Let's have another look at it after this disastrous start on offense.
I don't think there's any question that he catches. There's his feet right there.
Down.
Okay. All right. I mean, maybe he was bobbling it, but we'll take one more look. Nope. To me, he has control. He's trying to tuck it underneath his arm. Good call, fumble, but devastating for the Tiger Cats to turn it over twice in your own end.
And if this sticks, it'll be the 3rd fumble of the game for the Tiger Cats in this 1st quarter. The one angle did show his hands firmly around the football,
right,
and his feet down.
After reviewing the play, the receiver didn't have control of the ball. It's an incomplete pass. Incomplete pass.
Well, you know, why not throw the flag? That's what Lancaster's saying. Hey, we're in deep trouble here, 10-1. We turn this thing over. We're cooked. So he throws the flag. Great move by Ron Lancaster. Let's take another look at it right here. That's a great play by Jason Moss getting it. Now what they're saying is that he's taking the ball from his hands to tuck it into his body, and at that point he didn't have control. Do I agree or disagree? It doesn't really matter because they've made the decision, and it's incomplete.
4 yards to go from the 15-yard line. 2nd down and 4 from the 15-yard line.
So a shrewd move by Lancaster to challenge, and they get the fumble overturned on the incomplete ruling.
A great move by Lancaster. That is a great move because everything looked like he caught that ball and fumbled, but just to say, hey, we got nothing to lose, let's challenge this play. Are they going to have a re-challenge from the Riders?
Andre Prue has come back to the video replay booth and talking with the replay officials up in the press box gallery.
It's usually about what down it is, and I think maybe they lose the down on the incomplete pass, and it'd be 3rd and 4. That's just what I'm thinking.
3rd down, 4 yards to go from the 15-yard line.
You are a savant.
Well,
3rd down situation, and Pat Fleming is already standing back at his goal line. His first punt of the game, of course, that rocket, 81 yards and a single. And Ron Lancaster has signaled from the bench that he wants his punter to concede a safety.
That's an interesting move, but so far so good with his decisions early in the game.
Fleming goes back into the end zone and takes a knee to concede 2 more points on the scoreboard to Saskatchewan, and they'll have to kick it away but get out of bad field position. Welcome back to the CFL on CBC, and a special hello tonight to our American viewers looking in on the Comcast network in New York, Chicago, Philadelphia, out west on Comcast Sportsnet West in San Francisco. I wonder if your brother's watching tonight on the New England Sports Network. Are the Red Sox playing?
I'm not sure, but I'm sure I'll get a text message if he is watching. critiquing my performance.
Saskatchewan had the option, decided not to take the kickoff, took the ball on the 35. And Dominguez takes a shot after holding on to that short pass for a gain of 6.
You know, this is a money throw by Rocky Butler. It's a quick slant with zone coverage with someone helping him. He just puts it on the money. They pick up their 6-7 yards on first down. This was the knock on Butler, that he couldn't throw the ball and read defenses consistently. Well, so far, he's done it well against the Ticat defense.
Dominguez, sure-handed and a big leader on this Saskatchewan offense. Here comes the Hamilton blitz. Butler using his legs straight up the middle, gets a block from Armstead, and finally dropped by Arabin Justin after getting the necessary first down yardage and more.
Wow, this is beautiful. Watch the defensive end open up that hole. He went for the pass. Everything showed quick screen, so they all flew out to quick screen, pumped this quick screen Rocky Butler, and just split it like a running back. That's the type of plays you can draw up offensively if you're Tommy Condell for a Rocky Butler, because he runs so well with the football.
17-yard run for Rocky Butler and a big first down. Here comes Armstead. Fumbled snap, and Butler goes down quickly. And they'll get the ball back after a miscue between the center, Jeremy O'Day, and the quarterback, Rocky Butler.
Yeah, as we see the miscue right here, they were going back to that Armstead maybe fake reverse or reverse, but the thing about having Butler back there, it's like having a 2-back offense with only a 1-back set, if you know what I mean, because he can run the ball so well, so you can still utilize your 5 receivers, but really you have as a defense, you have 2 running backs coming at you.
Really puts pressure on the defense. 2nd and 10. Ticat showing blitz. They've brought the safety Beveridge up, and here he comes. Butler now looking across midfield, and it's complete to Andy Fantuz, his 2nd catch of the game, and a first down. 16 yards on the play.
Well, this is a great job protecting the quarterback, first of all, with pressure coming, and then again looking off your first read and hitting your second read. Fantuz coming across the middle, another great throw. Now this Ticat secondary is really banged up.
First trip to Southern Ontario for Saskatchewan, and Fantuz, there's his dad Max, his mom Kathy, brothers Mark and Max, all in town from Chatham wearing the 83 and green and white. As I mentioned earlier, something like 40 friends and family have managed to get tickets, and great night to see their son and brother. Deep ball, wide open, touchdown, Matt Dominguez. Arabin Justin lost his footing in coverage, and Dominguez has his 2nd touchdown in as many games against the Tiger Cats.
Well, I was about to start discussing how banged up the secondary and undermanned they are as we watch the replay. I mean, out is Jason Goss, Tay Cody, and Wayne Shaw. And in this instance, I think it was Sam Young, number 23, trying to keep up with Matt Dominguez. They just can't get it done with one-on-one coverage in that secondary. So all this emphasis on stopping Kenton Keith puts pressure on that secondary.
Tommy Condell, Bob Vespasiani, and crew celebrating the first offensive touchdown of the game, the 3rd touchdown pass in 2 games for Butler, who after 5 years in this league didn't throw his first touchdown pass until last week when he threw 2. But Matt Dominguez with the touchdown, 35 yards through the air, his 4th of this season.
Well, they're just picking up right where they left off. I'm going to look to the left side of your screen. It's one-on-one coverage. Armstead takes care of the free safety going to the middle of the field. And then Matt Dominguez gets one-on-one coverage with Sam Young, and Sam Young actually falls down. But the ball is put right on the money by Rocky Butler.
You're right, it was Young. I thought it was Justin earlier on the corner, but it was Young who went down, who's been forced into that halfback position because of the injury to Tay Cody, the normal cornerback, who's out with a separated shoulder. You mentioned Wayne Shaw out with a foot injury, and Jason Goss went home this week because of personal problems. So the secondary has been riddled and got picked apart there. A 35-yard touchdown pass to Dominguez, who was wide open.
Yeah, it's not an easy move defensively as you look at this secondary that's kind of trying to figure out what they're going to do to stop Rocky Butler and these receivers. But to move from corner into halfback is a very tough move with the running start coming from the slot backs in this league and the talent of these slot backs.
Sam Young, of course, was released by Wally Buono and the BC Lions early in the season and has found a home here. Kanji kicking off to Willie Quinney at his 20-yard line. Quinney, lanky with speed, twisting, gets by the first man, McKenzie, and then is strung out and taken out of bounds just shy of that television cart. And he's up and okay. But a 19-1 lead for the Saskatchewan Roughriders on the touchdown by Matt Dominguez. It began with Rocky Butler using his legs up the middle for a first down. Then Butler, with time, finds Andy Fantuz in front of Arabin Justin. And then Butler again. Look at the time, and a wide open receiver as Dominguez gets past a fallen Sam Young for his 4th touchdown of the season. And Butler 6 for 7 through the air right now, 117 yards. Moss wants to go deep. Now he dumps it off. His man was covered. They're looking for a flag. It was Kamau Peterson, the intended receiver. And David Bush was right there in his shadow.
Yeah, it did look like he got hit early by David Bush. But I'll tell you what, Jason Moss just does not look comfortable in the pocket. He's unsure where he's going to. It's you know, we hear them say, let's get on the same page. I mean, they're 10, 11 games into the football season, and to hear them say they're not on the same page as a quarterback and receiver, I don't understand that as being a former receiver. I mean, you do that stuff in training camp.
2nd and 10 for the Tiger Cats at their own 31. Moss now looking across the middle, and it's complete to Brock Ralph. The first down for the Tiger Cats with 2:25 to go in the opening quarter.
Well, we consistently sit up here and talk about Jason Moss, and he can't do this and isn't doing this. Well, he needs help from his receivers. Help like this. Guys flying across the middle, catching the ball when they know they're going to get hit. More plays like that by Brock Ralph in the receiving corps will help Jason Moss.
And they're getting more of those crosser routes into their offense. You like that, and you liked it when you played.
Absolutely, and Jason Moss likes that more importantly because he's more comfortable. That's the offenses he's running the past.
15-yard gain on the play. Here's a shovel on a reverse. Corey Holmes beats the first man. Can't get by Fred Perry, who hog-ties him for a huge loss on the play. A 12-yard loss as Fred Perry continues to star at that rush end.
Well, here's what happened. You're going to see Corey Holmes come around for a shovel pass, and it's one thing to say you want to get the football player the ball enough touches during a game, but to make up a play to get it to him that guys haven't run in the past and don't know how to block or a little unsure. I mean, he broke 2 tackles to lose 12 yards. I mean, that is not on Corey Holmes. It wasn't blocked well, not a well-conceived play.
So it's 2nd and 21 for Moss. 4-man rush in the pocket. He's sacked. Terrell Jereniak, the former Tiger Cat, has his 3rd sack of the season, and the Cats have to punt.
He had 4 receivers to the left, and he's trying to come back and throw maybe the wheel route to Brock Ralph, but just doesn't have enough time and doesn't pull the trigger. He's indecisive. He's looking for Morielli coming across the middle. He's not open. He's covered very well. I mean, occasionally these receivers got to step up and beat man-to-man coverage.
So Dominic Dorsey awaiting the punt from Fleming. Fleming hammers a deep spiral, another beauty, and Dorsey backpedals to his 27. The leader in combined yards tries to go wide, cuts upfield, and is tackled from behind by the rookie Lawrence Gordon. First down, Saskatchewan. Hand off to the rookie Bracey, and he's hammered as he crosses the line of scrimmage. Cheatwood Belly in the mix along with Cotton. And that big front four for Hamilton, limiting a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, I think the Ticat defense has done what they set out to do today. They wanted to stop Kenton, Keith, and Bracey from running all over him, and they've done that. But Butler has had a big play rushing the football, and he's been effective throwing the football, extremely effective.
Last week, the Riders rushed for 266 yards against the Tiger Cat defense. Tackling was a problem. 2nd and 8. Saskatchewan. Rocky Butler firing to the wide side. It's complete to Dominguez, but about 3 yards shy of the first down. So this Ticat defense stiffens up as Cornegay makes the tackle in the secondary for the Ticats, and the gun sounds to end the opening quarter of play. A mistake-prone quarter for the Tiger Cats, and they're down 19-1. Back in Hamilton on a gray evening, and been a dark cloud over the Ticats again here tonight. Down 19-1 as we get set to start the second.
Well, I mean, I laugh, but it's not funny. Net yards, Saskatchewan 139, Tiger Cats -10. That's not good. Not good.
You think?
First down, 6-1. But, you know, again, I thought we were going to see Corey Holmes within the essence of the offense, just carrying the ball off tackle, maybe out receiving the ball. Instead, they tried to get it to him with trick plays,
yeah,
and it hasn't been effective.
Joe Powell has been scrutinized as the offensive coordinator and has burned the candle at both ends, looking for an offense, a way out, a system to get this team ignited. Corey Holmes last week had just 6 touches of the football for Hamilton in that game at Regina. And he's the lone man back here on this punt by Luka Kanji. Kanji angling it away from Holmes. He won't get it out of bounds. Holmes at the 21, and he's caught quickly. A great tackle on the play as he tried to sidestep the rookie McKenzie. Anton McKenzie limiting the return to just 4 yards on a 36-yard punt.
Watch this great tackle. An open field against Corey Holmes, who we've been talking about, and tries to jump over the tackle, brings him down. The thing a bit unfair, I guess, about Corey Holmes is that he's playing within this Hamilton Ticat special teams and offense, which has not done well. No one has done well. Great players, Terry Vaughn, Kwame Cavill, Jason Moss, Mike Morelli have not done well. It's not to be expected that Corey Holmes will be able to jump in and play well behind it either.
The offensive line, too, has been a work in progress this season. Moss, play action, rolling, time to the wide side. Wide open is Kamal Peterson. He heads upfield and takes the shot from David Bush and the rookie James Johnson, and he'll have a first down and a gain of 12 yards.
Here you see the bootleg. They fake it to Ronick. He boots right with no one to help him except his receivers, and Peterson's wide open. Nice catch. Peterson was the one bright spot last week, playing extremely well.
The Ticats have suffered in terms of the passing attack the last few years. This year currently ranked second last.
I can't believe all that coming after the great 2002 year.
Play action to the wide side again, and it's complete to Kamal Peterson. Doubles back, and Johnson takes him down. There's a flag on the play as Johnson swung wildly over top of the shoulder of the Ticat receiver.
James, come here, come here, come here.
We'll see what the face mask call. Peterson has been Jason Moss's go-to guy the last 2 weeks. He's shown he can get open, catches the ball well.
Major foul, face mask, Saskatchewan 19, 15-yard penalty.
Wow, that's a big
first
break.
down.
James Johnson, the rookie, getting his second start ahead of Armando Curry.
Yeah, see if we can get a look at the face mask as Peterson catches it, and he's fighting for yards, right? He's a big guy, runs after the catch, and there's the face mask with the left arm by Johnson. And now they're in Rider territory for the first time.
Starting to rain here tonight in Hamilton. First down, play action. Back to pass, Moss across the middle, and it's too high, intended for Terry Vaughn. And Vaughn can't bring it down with one hand.
Yeah, Vaughn seeing his first ball come his way tonight, which is, you know, you're after the first quarter. You'd like to see Terry Vaughn get into the game a little bit quicker. thrown high. He's not really ready for it yet. Doesn't go up with it with both hands. Just puts that one hand up because people are looking to take his ribs out.
2nd and 10. As fans scramble to get their raincoats as the heavens open. Moss facing the blitz. Quickly away. It's complete to Morreale. He beats the first man and the second. Puts his head down. Loses the football. It's recovered by Saskatchewan. It's Eddie Davis with the football. Now he's got an escort. Gets a block. There's a flag on the play. And Davis scores. Touchdown. But there's a flag on the play. Davis rambled 36 for a fumble recovery touchdown last week. This one's 68, but it's coming back.
Yeah, it's coming back, but they'll retain possession after the fumble by Morreale, who was just second effort trying to get that first down. So often you see guys fighting for first downs. They leave that ball exposed, and a helmet or hand will punch the ball as we watch the play.
Blocking both ways. Saskatchewan number 9.
There's the ball out. He's making that effort, and there's the helmet. His own guy actually runs into him, pops the ball out, and then Eddie Davis picks it up.
Reggie Hunt called for an illegal block below the waist. To take another look at Mike Morreale, who came into this game needing.
I think it's Wayne Smith hustling downfield as an offensive lineman, trying to make a block for his buddy at receiver that pops the ball out of Morreale's hand, and then it's recovered by Eddie Davis.
Morreale needs just 23 yards in receiving to become only the 9th Tiger Cat. 5,000 yards in receiving. Play action now. They fake the shuttle. Rocky Butler can't get away as Cheatwood puts the grip on him. And he's caught behind the line of scrimmage.
Great play by Cheatwood. He has been one consistent guy. Here they're going to go left with that option, whether to shovel pass it forward or to run with it. Butler, because Cheatwood plays it so well, he slow plays it, meaning he's waiting back for the pass that might go to the back, but also in position to make the tackle on the quarterback, and he tackles Butler for a 1-yard loss.
And he gets credit for his 2nd sack of the game, his 6th of the season. Make it 2nd and 11, Saskatchewan. 5 receivers set. Ticats blitzing. Butler uses his legs to buy time. Throwing deep downfield, intended for Jason French. He could not get free. And it's too far and incomplete. Rather, Corey Grant, the intended Saskatchewan receiver. It was Tad Cornegay who had him tied up.
See, now here's what you can't do at defensive end. You can't get pinned in. You see James Cotton. Cheatwood didn't get beat outside and lose his pursuit of keeping everyone in there, but on the flip side, James Cotton got beat outside. Once Butler gets outside, there's so many things, so many ways he can hurt you, either running the football or throwing it. You can't allow him to do it. Contain, contain, contain. Coach Lancaster and Kavis Reed were talking about that before the game tonight.
The Ticat defense coming to the aid of the offense again, preventing a scoring play on that Morreale turnover. 3 Ticat fumbles here in the first half. Kanji, a nice punt, deep, angling it. Willie Quinney takes it 3 yards deep and will concede a punt single. So the Saskatchewan Roughriders open a 19-point lead. There's 12-year veteran Rob Hitchcock, who has answered the call. His team looking for a leader, and tonight he's wearing the mic for the CBCs.
Let's go, CBC! Saturday Night Football, let's go! We talked it all week long, let's go! Make it our house on 3, 1, 2, 3! Rover, Rover, Rover! Rover!
Hitchcock moved back to his familiar safety role from linebacker in the last couple of weeks with the injury to Wayne Shaw. He has been vocal and has been pretty nasty. Last week he had a couple of big shots. Lost his tooth, his front tooth in the game against Saskatchewan last week. DJ Flick goes up for the football, and they'll mark his forward progress very close to the first down marker. But a lot of talk in Hamilton about leadership and who's going to step up and lead this football team.
Well, we look at a nice throw from Moss to DJ Flick on first down to pick up 9, but I think the Hitchcock factor is huge for these Tiger Cats. There's a guy with a lot of energy that can lead. And here you see flickering DJ. That's well done.
Well, he's on pace this year for about half the total he had last year when he went over 1,000 yards for the second year in a row.
Again, though, that's throughout the offense. That's not just DJ Flick. That's all these guys that have had great years. Terry Vaughn, Josh Ronick, Corey Holmes, DJ Flick, Mike Morielli, Jason Moss. All these guys are used to bigger years. But this year, it's not happening in Hamilton, and there's a lot of talk. I mean, what is it? Is it Jason Moss? Is it the offensive line? Is it the offensive coordinator? You know, those are answers that need to be, you know, figured out.
And that's what's shocking when you look at the talent they've assembled here in Hamilton. And Vaughn and Peterson and Flick and even Morielli looking for their first touchdowns of the season here in the 11th game. Moss now rolling shovel. It's incomplete, intended for Ronick. But I'll tell you what, the Roughriders were all over that play.
Yeah, this is the one that the play that they scored on last week from the 12-yard line, and this week they've studied it up a little bit as we watch him roll left. And you'll see Jereniak, I think, plays it again, just as Hamilton did. You know, you play the quarterback, and then you're looking to come back to the running back so you make both plays and you force them into making a quick decision.
2nd and 10 for the Tiger Cats. Moss in a light rain. 5 receivers set. Ronick blocking. Moss across the middle. Morielli up high, and he can't bring the ball down. It was a little bit behind, but it looked catchable.
Yeah, opportunity to make a big play. Slip through his hands in the rain. Look at Saskatchewan defensively. Well, Fred Perry already off to a great start. A fumble recovery for a touchdown, bringing 9 sacks into this football game. The linebacker position has been very good. McCullough solid in the middle. Mitchell, the veteran, kind of the leader of this group. And in the secondary, we've seen Omar Morgan play well, and Eddie Davis back-to-back. Well, his got called back tonight, but recovery last week for a touchdown and also a fumble recovery that got called back tonight.
Rider defense forcing the Tiger Cats to punt on 3rd and 10. Fleming hammers another line drive deep. Dorsey forced back to his 11-yard line. Dominic Dorsey now with a burst of speed, twisting across the 25. And Ray Marius, the special teams leader in tackles on this Tiger Cat team, brings him down for a 14-yard return. Welcome back to Ivor Wynne Stadium in Hamilton. You're watching the CFL on CBC. A reminder, our next game, hard to believe the summer's almost over. It's the Labor Day Classic, Monday, September 4th. It all begins with our pregame show at 2:30 from Hamilton. Then the Battle of Alberta. Ricky Ray and the Eskimos at 3 and 6 take on the 6 and 4 Stampeders. The nightcap back here at Ivor Wynne. The surging Toronto Argonauts against the laboring Hamilton Tiger Cats. The Labor Day doubleheader coming your way next weekend, the CFL on CBC. Rocky Butler changing the play at the line of scrimmage on 1st down. Pumps, wants to go deep downfield to Armstead. He's covered, jump ball, and it's incomplete as Sam Young came over from his halfback position to make a good play on defense for the Cats.
Sam Young tracked that play the whole way. I mean, he was just reading Rocky Butler's eyes. You see him, he's looking at the receiver the whole time, gives him a pump fake. But Sam Young had responsibility in his deep half. Had a nice chance for an interception. Whether he made it or not, he would have ended up out of bounds. But nice play by Sam Young, who was beat earlier in the game in that one-on-one by Matt Dominguez.
A lot of talk this week about how the Riders would react to the firing of Roy Shivers. Danny Barrett sequestering his team earlier this week at practice, locking the gates to the media for 2 days. But they've come together, and many of them saying they want to win one for the Shiver. Here's Butler now, looking for Corey Grant, and it's too high and incomplete. Quarterback comparison, both quarterbacks with 7 completions. The yardage is quite different.
It is. You saw Rocky throwing an incompletion there, but that's been rare. He's throwing the ball extremely well at 70%, 7 for 10, and the big plays. You know, he has the 122 yards. He's completing the big ones. Got the 1 TD where Jason, again, hovering around that 50%, only for 44 yards. So his completions are around, you know, 6, 7 yards per completion, which he's not getting the big play for his offense.
By being able to play Rocky Butler, the Saskatchewan Roughriders are giving their starter, Kerry Joseph, another day of rest with their Labor Day game coming up next week against Winnipeg. Joseph, of course, with that bruised knee. A bouncing ball gets past Holmes at the 25, and he's cornered at the sideline. A 54-yard punt and just a 1-yard return.
Holmes puts up the punt. Re-estimate.
I mentioned how Danny Barrett closed practice this week in Regina. It's not uncommon for a team to withdraw from the media in times of controversy after the Shivers firing, but they closed ranks even within the organization. Barrett was saying yesterday that there is a sentiment that let's play for Roy, and he's given a lot of people on this team an opportunity to play, brought in all but I think 3 of their players.
Right.
Eric Tillman has come in as the new GM, has struck a cordial tone in the organization, wants to rebuild, wants to make it a winning team, and address the team this week in the locker room.
He did. I mean, as we see the incompletion for the Tiger Cats, imagine the situation Eric Tillman's coming into, where a beloved guy like Roy Shivers has just been fired. But he went in, had a team meeting, and he reminds these guys, as we look at the replay, that, hey, your careers are a finite period of time. You know, you have to make the best of it. So in other words, listen, play well, or you won't be playing here. And the responsibility and the loyalty is to that S on your helmet. It's to the community of Saskatchewan and the people that pay the bills in Saskatchewan for you to keep your job. I mean, I think it's a great message to send to these guys. Say, listen, you're a professional. You got to play well to keep your job, so play well.
And your loyalty is to the S on the helmet. Second down, Moss firing across the middle. And it's Mike Morreale with the catch, but he's just shy of the first down. We'll see where they get the spot. And it looks like he'll be about a yard short of the first down.
Yeah, we see Mike run his route. You got to push it up to first down yardage. He's right about there. Just ends up a yard short. I'll tell you what, he's covered pretty well on that play also. Jackie Mitchell.
5,000 per game. Entered the ball game as we bring out the private sticks.
So we'll see how short they are of the first down. Is it worth a gamble? I mean, that's a full yard plus. I don't know. I got a short stride. That's longer than a yard, though. It'll be interesting to see.
A little over a yard short.
On 3rd and 1.
A little over a yard short, and it looks like they're going to gamble at their own 35-yard line. Joe Paopao and this Hamilton offense has 3 points so far in almost 2.5 home games.
You know what, Mark? It's time to make a play and get this thing going.
And I don't know if they got it as Moss, or rather,
he's going to need an extremely kind.
Kevin Aiken came in at quarterback and got hammered.
Yeah.
And Ron Lancaster is doing a slow burn at the Hamilton bench. This is going to be very close, but it doesn't look like they've got it.
Well, it's easy to be the second guess, and as we look at the replay and see the offensive line, do they get a push? No, they get crushed by that defensive line, and you would expect that to happen as we see they don't make it. You haven't been running the ball well. You haven't been blowing the Rider defense off the line. I agree with Coach Lancaster. Hey, we're down 20-1. We got spanked last week by these guys. Let's make a play. Let's do something. But I'll tell you what, they just don't have it up front to get that. They just flat out don't have it to get that first down.
So the Tiger Cats will turn the ball over on downs, their 4th turnover in this first half, as everything seems to be going wrong. The Roughriders in a double tight end formation with 2 receivers to the wide side. Corey Grant alone to the boundary, and they hand off to Kenton Keith. He beats the first man, gets outside. It was Steve Joshua who couldn't make the tackle. Oh! And a circus tackle by Arabin Justin, sending Kenton Keith through the air and down.
Second down, Roughriders.
And a gain of 7. But the Tiger Cats have trouble with turnovers again. It began early when Moss fumbled on the second series and Fred Perry rumbled into the end zone. Then a pooch kick from Kanji, and Brock Ralph had it for a moment, and it squirted free. Across the middle, Mike Morreale looking for the extra yards, battling, and he loses the football. And then the turnover on downs. Second down, short yardage. Kenton Keith slashing his way off tackle and through the midsection of that Tiger Cat defense for 13 more yards. And a first down before the safety, Sandy Beveridge, makes the tackle.
Yeah, touchdown saving tackle. I mean, he's untouched through this whole. This is the flip side of the Ticat O-line. This Rider offensive line has been tremendous the last 2 weeks. I mean, they're opening up huge holes for Kenton Keith to get through. Nice tackle by Sandy Beveridge in the open field against a great back like Kenton Keith to save the touchdown.
Kenton Keith, in his last 3 games against the Tiger Cats, has rushed for more than 100 yards in each. And now the Riders are threatening again. There's movement along the offensive line, and flags fly. It'll be procedure, the call against the Roughriders on the right side of their offensive line.
Yeah, I think they had some move at right tackle, but again, they're in this 2 tight end formation.
Saskatchewan 53, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And it was Charles Thomas who was moved from left tackle over to the right side.
Yeah, but you see him in that 2 tight formation with the wide receivers off the line, getting the running start. I mean, I think that's the perfect formation for the Riders. You can run the ball, throw so well, but are forcing teams in man-to-man coverage to give your receivers that running start that you can beat them on deep routes also.
First and 15 now for the Riders after the penalty. Butler hands off to Kenton Keith, and Keith, twisting and turning, will cross the 15-yard line. Or rather, make that Shermar Bracey, the rookie running back. We'll have a gain just shy of the first down of about 7.
You know, the old thunder and lightning where Kenton Keith is quick and stop and go on a dime, and Bracey comes in and just kind of powers it in, a la Sean Millington, right through the middle of the line. Same number, if I'm not mistaken. Forgive me, Millie, for not remembering the number.
Second and 7. The Riders now with motion to the left side. Butler rolls right, looks back to the left, looking for a screen. Now throws downfield. It's complete to Tris Zarka, and Zarka will have the first down across the 5-yard line.
Now, here's Butler making a play when it wasn't there. It goes to the screen. It's covered extremely well. He buys time. Zarka spins upfield, gets open, puts it on the money, and he makes a great catch. You know, he's making a play when your first reader, your first option breaks down, scrambling, buying time, waiting for his receiver or back to get open. That's a great play by Rocky Butler and Chris Zarka.
It's only his 8th catch of the season, but he makes good when he gets the ball. The big man in close to the end zone. First and goal now from the 3. Play action, naked bootleg. Rocky Butler heads to the end zone. Touchdown.
Nice play, and he took the safe route, but he could have tossed a nice, easy touchdown to Andy Fantuz, and that would have made his family so happy. As you see him roll out, kind of a naked bootleg, pay so much attention to the running backs in Kenton Keith, and no one's out containing again. I mean, Coach Lancaster, Cavis Reed talked, we didn't contain last week. Well, you see them all. There they all go down in there. And now an athletic quarterback, and there's Andy Fantuz right there. Oh, why didn't you throw me the touchdown, he's saying to Rocky Butler.
The Butler scores his first rushing touchdown of the game and season to go with his passing touchdown. And it's a rout here early. After the convert, a 27-1 Saskatchewan lead. And the third-string quarterback continues to be effective in relief of the injured Marcus Crandall and Kerry Joseph.
You see the replay. You saw Tim Cheatwood just fly down inside on the fake with no thought of responsibility to contain the quarterback. And that's a problem when you got a quarterback that can run like Rocky Butler. Once he gets outside, you're not going to catch him.
The Rough Riders have scored 14 points off turnovers. Cavis Reed with some pointers for the rookie middle linebacker Steve Josu, who couldn't get there in time to stop the fleet Rocky Butler.
Yeah, he couldn't, but you know, Josu has played well. He's been active, been making plays, you know, disrupting the offense in Kenton Keith. I think it comes from the ends. I mean, Timmy Cheatwood and James Cotton got to contain. They got to contain the quarterback. He can't be coming around the end with an option to throw or run all day.
Kavis Reed, you saw moments ago, expressing frustration and pacing down the Hamilton bench, said that last week's performance by his defense was the worst he's seen in 11 years in the CFL.
And to be fair, you can see it on his face, but they are undermanned. A lot of injuries in the secondary have forced them in tough situations. Getting run on so much last week has forced them into certain things defensively, and they're just not playing it well.
Willie Quinney from his 20-yard line. The high stepper up field and brought down at the 45. And a good second effort there. A 25-yard return to give the Tiger Cats good field position as Butler savors his first rushing TD.
Hamilton played for the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Back in Hamilton, you know, Ron Lancaster has really put on a positive face amid all the troubles here in Hamilton. This week, being a little facetious when he said, we can't win at home, we can't win on the road. Our problem is finding a place to play. I mean, it's been so tough, and yet he's managed to try to strike some levity into the situation.
Yeah, Coach Lancaster does not understand the way he played, why everyone doesn't play that way with the heart and desire that he does. And when he sees that from his team, he just doesn't understand it.
Moss back down the middle to Brock Ralph. And the young Canadian has a first down in front of the veteran Eddie Davis.
Again, Brock Ralph showing he can catch the ball across the middle. You'll see him come in from the right side of your screen. Not an easy place to make a living, but he's made a couple really nice catches coming in there, and that's, you know, Jason Moss is leaning on people. Guys, I need help, right? I'm going to throw it there. Go get it.
First down, Hamilton. Moss into the flats now to Josh Ronick. He's quickly covered by the rookie, James Johnson, and Ronick can't escape as he gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Now this is something I've heard maybe throughout Hamilton, talking with people that have seen the Ticats throughout the season, is that they thought they got Josh Ronick, who was this explosive speedster from the backfield, and we saw him in the open field there, and he didn't have that explosiveness to just break away in the open field with speed. And that is something that I think the Ticats thought they were getting when they got Josh Ronick. 2nd and 10 against the blitz now. Moss in the pocket, wants to run. He's hit and fumbled the football again. And the Cats get back on the football. It'll be 3rd down. Moss's second fumble, this one recovered.
Moss's fumble.
Well, he's got a pretty good pocket there to step up it, and the problem is his receivers aren't there right away. I know he's getting pressure from the outside, and Jonta Woodard is in at left tackle. He's doing a pretty decent job to force his guy out and around so he can step up. But
Fred Perry again.
Yeah, Fred Perry is just a Mr. All Everything the last 2 weeks for the Riders, and for that matter for the whole season.
Fleming will have to punt with Armstead back and flanked by Dominic Dorsey. 2:06 and counting to go until halftime. Fleming continues to have a great day. They just let it bounce, and it goes back to the 5-yard line. Dorsey picks it up and has a couple of yards maybe on the return. A 50-yard punt, 2-yard return, as we remind you. It's Canadian Tire at the half coming up. Elliot Friedman and the panel. Millie and newcomer David Benefield join him. Then back in the day, turn the hands back and celebrate the great career of Tom Clements, former Hamilton, Ottawa, Winnipeg quarterback.
Where did he go to college?
Notre Dame.
There you go.
There you go. Rocky Butler, 8 for 12, 133 yards. And again, he has managed this offense as the number 3 play caller with the guys ahead of him, Joseph and Crandall, injured. He has been studious and has come prepared both last week and again tonight as the starter. He hands off to Keith. Look at that. He pulls a sleight of hand and escapes after being stopped at the line of scrimmage and makes something out of nothing.
That's what great backs will do. And, you know, there's one-on-one. Oh, coming off the end again.
Cheatwood. Yeah,
Cheatwood coming off the end. Looks like he has a clear shot at him. Swing and a miss. and he gets out of it. I mean, that's the emphasis, tackling, right? Lancaster, tackle. We got to tackle. It's tough to tackle what you can't see.
It is.
I mean, Kenton Keith has just been amazing tonight and last week.
Keith with 148 yards on the ground last week against Hamilton. 2nd and 5. Butler in the flats. It's complete to Keith. They got him this time. It's Joaquin Bradley, the corner, who comes up and makes the tackle for a loss on the play. 3rd down.
Well, I'll tell you what, this wasn't happening last week. The open field with Kenton Keith, they weren't bringing him down, and here's Bradley just making a heck of a play. You know, open field, there's your best back you got, your quickest, fastest guy, and Bradley makes the play. A shoestring tackle, as it were, Mark. Barely trips him up. That's all it takes, though. Now they're punting from their own 10. You're going to get great field position. Now you got to stick it in the end zone. To have a chance in this football game in the second half, you got 1:22. You need a touchdown.
Luka Kanji stands 5 yards deep with Corey Holmes across midfield at the Saskatchewan 49-yard line. Do you give up the safety here, or do you punt it away with 1:22 on the clock?
Well, the way the Ticat offense has been moving, I would punt it away, but I think they'll take the safety most likely.
Kanji will, having that low 36-yard average. He's chased out of touch to give up the safety, and a derisive cheer from the fans here as the Ticats get 2 more points.
Well, why not cheer? That's the most points they've scored at a home game in 3 games.
Yes, you're right about that.
Roll. You know,
you found the positive here.
There is a positive to every side. 3 points, off and running. I don't think Coach Lancaster has seen the positive of that, Mark. Well, hey.
Cracking a smile.
He sees the positive. The glass is half full. Stadium, though, is half empty as people, when the rain came, started to call it a night.
Yeah, the crowd is rather porous. They've been averaging 27,800 here. Moss now rolling, stopping, throwing to the wide side. Kamal Peterson makes the catch and is forced out of bounds after a gain of 5 with the corner, James Johnson, arriving almost.
You know what I was looking at? That's such a long throw, and James Johnson was a fraction of a second of taking that the other way. Decided to be safe and just make the tackle.
Somebody's bound to score.
But again, I mean, in the zone defense, that's the soft spot at that 5-8 yards hanging out near the sideline. But occasionally what a corner will do is jump that route, and then there's nothing to stop him. He's got nothing between himself and the end zone. So Moss 11 for 18, 72 yards, no picks. The thing that has hurt the offense has been the fumbles.
He comes into this game with the lowest average pass completion in the league at 6.5. Moss with time now across the middle, crossing route. Willie Quinney has the catch, but Reggie Hunt, the Reaper, is right there to make the tackle. It's very close to the first down with 1:04 on the clock.
As a quarterback, how do you make the big play? Look at the separation between receiver and defensive back. I mean, he was practically being tackled as he caught the football. It's tough to have a big play when they're right there. He's going to be just short here. And again, they're going to have to take a chance on 3rd down.
Here comes Julian Radlin into the football game as the Cats will go for it again on 3rd down. Radlin in for Willie Quinney, the big fullback.
Now this is one that would, because the defense has to give him that 1-yard cushion at the line of scrimmage, that you think you just get the ball and move forward and you should pick up the 1st down. It wasn't as long as the last one was over a yard.
Big Nate Davis, the defensive tackle, veteran out of Indiana, takes his spot along the line of scrimmage. It's 3rd and inches as the Ticats will go for it here in the final minute. Radlin is hit hard by Reggie Hunt. They fumble the football, and the Roughriders have it. Oh, no. What else can go wrong tonight for the Tiger Cats? The 5th turnover of this opening half.
With the tackle of Davis.
Well, we'll watch it up front, and this time they decide to hand it off to Radlin to pick it up as opposed to doing the quarterback sneak. He does lose the football, and ever-present Eddie Davis seems to be around every ball that gets loose. I know what the thinking. Their thinking is the quarterback sneak didn't work last time. Let's give it to a big back that can power for that yard. But they didn't have as far to go this time. They only had a foot, if that, to make the first down. The quarterback sneak would have been perfect. Again, easy to second guess from here, but I would expect the quarterback just to quarterback sneak and pick up the first down and move on.
Radlin trying to sort out what went wrong. It was this man, Reggie Hunt, who just spearheaded the ball out of his hands. And Eddie Davis with his second fumble recovery of the game and third of the season. You're right. Yeah. As the big man would say, he's on that like a hungry man on a cheeseburger.
And the big man would know.
And a special hello to the big man, Chris Walby, who is convalescing at home tonight in Winnipeg after knee surgery earlier this week. We hope to have him back for Labor Day. Also a special hello to Greg Frères, who has been under the weather and is at home recovering out in Vancouver.
Absolutely. Hello, Greg and Chris. Hope you're resting well and getting better.
Said that with so much passion.
You know, I sincerely hope they're getting better. What? You know, if they were here, I'd be giving them a jab, but I can't do that.
Jason Moss, who no one outworks him, that's for sure. He was saying the other day he doesn't have the physical gifts of some quarterbacks, but nobody will outwork him. Some people say he has to be smart and not overdo the work, but relax a little bit.
He hasn't played poorly tonight. 5 turnovers is going to do it to you every time.
First down, Rough Riders here. Rocky Butler backside. It's complete to Kenton Keith on a deflection. He's deep in behind the line of scrimmage, and the Cats gang tackle him, and there's a flag on the play as Belly explodes and has words.
Flag down
with Jeremy O'Day as they lock horns and come nose to nose.
Mark, they finally make a play with energy and excitement and flying to the ball and gang tackling as we see the rumble and melee break out on the field. But you know, I think they have counted it with a roughing penalty, which would be a shame because they were flying to the football on this one. We'll see how it plays out. Maybe one of those that goes both ways.
Well, you know, they used to say football doesn't come any tougher than a game at Ivor Wynn, and Morielli was saying the other day we used to knock the crap out of people here, but this team has been pushed around now for the 3rd game in a row at home.
Well, I came to Hamilton in '98, and I came with Danny McManus and Coach Lancaster, and the thought was McManus, Flutie, Lancaster turn it around. But I'll tell you what, it was defense in Hamilton, and always has been defense that won us championships.
After the play was over, major foul, unnecessary roughness, Hamilton 78, 15-yard penalty.
Adriana Belli.
Yeah. So you're right. After a great play by the defense,
a great play. I mean, there he is, right there.
Cheap shots the quarterback from behind.
The quarterback. I mean, come on. If it's an old lineman, I'm with you. But the quarterback, that's a shame.
That's why Jeremy O'Day locked him up, and there goes Belly, and they're booing him as he leaves the field.
Well, he's going to catch an earful probably from Lancaster, I would think. It's just again gives them 1st and 10, and now they got 49 seconds to work with it at the 37-yard line of the Tiger Cats.
And a first down for the Rough Riders. Butler straight back to pass. He's got time across the middle. Wide open is Dominguez. He makes the catch, makes the deep, and makes the touchdown. 37 yards. And his second easy touchdown of this first half.
It's just a breakdown in the secondary. They come off one of the Benefield got the football. Ex-Rider himself. Butler, nice job. I mean, they're not so tough. I see a guy in my same color jersey running down the field. No one's covering. I think I'd throw it to him. Good decision. No tackling near the goal line. Just a broken coverage. And Matt Dominguez is the beneficiary of that. And Cavis just can't believe it. Cavis Reed, defensive coordinator for the Tiger Cats. Here we see it from the back, and we look up the seam where Matt Dominguez is coming, and there's Ticats underneath, and there's Ticats to the right and to the left, but no one covering that area. That's 21 points off turnovers for the Rough Riders. I mean, they'd still be winning 12-3 without that.
Rocky Butler with his second touchdown pass of the game, both to Dominguez. Matt Dominguez in the first half, 5 catches, 106 yards, and 2 touchdown receptions.
He's a guy which we've seen this resurgence of the Riders, I think, is a huge part of it, because his knee, watching games earlier in the season, was still really bothering him. He was favoring it on route running. But the type of guy he was still downfield blocking, being the team guy. But now that knee's coming around, and he's making plays.
And it was right here that he blew up that knee in week 2 last year. And you know what athletes are like. Sometimes they're a bit superstitious when they come back to the scene of a debilitating knee injury. And he has not worried one bit about that, obviously, the way he's played this first half. Care to comment on athletes and how they feel coming back to places where they've been hurt?
I was never hurt.
Sandy Beveridge is the injured Tiger Cat, the safety. And Dominguez, the team leader for Saskatchewan, vocally and leading the way on the field tonight on offense. Here's how Beveridge got banged up.
Oh, he tried to kick Matt Dominguez.
What?
Maybe he hurt his foot. Oh, well, he looks like he blew a tire before that.
You're right. He did kind of leg whip after he went down. And Beveridge, of course, is starting because of the injury to Wayne Shaw, who's out with a foot injury. And the backup is Rob Hitchcock, who was banged up earlier in this half.
You know what? Look at Sandy Beveridge. You see Rob Hitchcock and these guys, Cheatwood and Cotton for these are good football players. We've seen them play for years. They're good football players, but boy, they look like the JV playing the varsity these past 2 weeks against the Riders. And I don't know what to make of it or why.
It is puzzling and frustrating, no doubt, for the Tiger Cats and their fans, as Luka Kanji has the point after. And the Roughriders are relaxed in their dugout and enjoying this one-sided first half. And nobody is suffering more tonight than their leader on defense, Rob Hitchcock.
It's just cracking, that's all. Yeah, when I dove at the guy, I was on the ground and someone came down when my leg was on the ground and I pulled it. Just a bit tender, I'm fine. I'm not coming out of this game, I'll tell you that.
Well, they need more like him here in Steeltown.
Well, Mark,
a leg injury, his tooth smashed out of his mouth last week.
It's just cracking. I don't know what could be wrong. My knee is cracking. My tooth is gone from the hellacious hit I put on a kid last week. I mean, this guy, he's what you need. I mean, he plays one way, and that's with a lot of energy and a lot of desire, and just all out. You hear him say, I'm not coming out of this game. We're at home. I mean, Hitch knows it as well as anybody. Mike Morielli, you come back at home, even if you're struggling, you got to put a good performance on for the home crowd, right? Coming out and buying tickets to see you. And then it kills Rob Hitchcock and guys like Mike Morielli more than anyone.
And Ron Lancaster has turned to those veterans, Morielli and Hitchcock, and given them more prominent roles in the last 2 games, trying to use their veteran experience and leadership to lead this team out of this huge hole.
And deservingly so, he should turn to them. But I look for more guys like Terry Vaughn, Adriana Belli. I mean, these guys that should be stepping up.
Jason Moss. Willie Quinney bobbles it, holds on, cuts upfield through the hash mark. There's a flag down as he's knocked down across the 35-yard line. Willie Quinney, the young rookie, trying to make an impression on this team out of Alabama Birmingham. He's got that 4.3 speed. Couldn't get away there. As Jason Moss comes up for the final 34 seconds of this first half. And of course, another penalty to the Tiger Cats will move the ball deep into their zone, give them tough field position. The Tiger Cats have 3 carries for 6 yards rushing in this first half.
In a way, they've tried to get Corey Holmes involved, but again, to my point, it's kind of in a trick play fashion, which is not the way he's going to be effective. I mean, 6 turnovers, penalties.
They've been unable to get any drives going. You can't build any sequences either. Here's Moss across the middle, and it's complete. And Terry Vaughn, speak of the devil, has a catch and a gain of 5. It's his first catch of this football game.
Yeah, he's at 29 seconds remaining in the first half, and he has his first catch. And if he's your best receiver and someone you're gonna lean on to move the football, That's not good.
Scott Schultz losing one of his numbers as he goes off the field. Moss now throwing deep downfield. One-on-one, it's Kamal Peterson, and the ball falls short as Peterson tries to come back to it. In coverage was James Johnson, the rookie, and it's third down Hamilton.
That's a good shot, I think, by Moss. It wasn't the prettiest ball coming out, but you got one-on-one coverage with James Johnson. Throw it up. Let Peterson try to make a play. It's underthrown, I think, on purpose, so Peterson can come back and try to make that play. He almost gets to it. I mean, how often with 20 seconds left do you have a guy running up the sideline with just one-on-one coverage?
Well, Moss and the Tiger Cats have had one drive of 4 plays in this first half and 5 2-and-out. So it's more of the same, an inability to convert on second down and get some first downs. Pat Fleming from the 14. He shanks this one after some great punts in the first half. Dominic Dorsey will get a no yards flag. And Rob Hitchcock and Ray Mariuz are down to lower the boom and make the tackle on special teams. A 37-yard punt and no return on the play as the two special team leaders make the play.
Well, that's the no yards penalty you want to take. You gotta circle the football and encroach that 5 yards just to make sure you bring the returner down. But I think there's also a call on the Riders as far as could be holding or a block from the back.
Officials will sort it out with 7 seconds on the clock.
I don't think we'd see much of anything with 7 seconds left as far as the Riders.
No yards. Hamilton 27. Holding. Saskatchewan 17. The net is 5 yards back. First down Saskatchewan.
Arnold Parker, the rookie for Hamilton. And Donnie Ruiz, the penalty for Saskatchewan, right there on the hold.
Yeah, we see a little battle going on there with Gordon and Ruiz.
Well, it's been too easy for Saskatchewan in this first half. And everything has gone wrong. In Hamilton, they say Murphy was an optimist. First down for Butler. And they'll just grind it out, handing it off to Kent Keith. He goes backside and finds all kinds of daylight for a big first down on the last play of a lopsided first half of football as the gun sounds and the fans let their team know what they think. The Tiger Cats booed off the field as they head to the locker room, trailing 34-3 at the half. Here's Brenda now with Saskatchewan head coach Danny Barrett.
Danny, a lot of people wondering how this team would handle the adversity. You obviously didn't miss a beat from last week's game.
Well, I think that's the key. You know, we wanted to come in early and make sure we have a physical presence, and I think we've done that defensively. You know, all different types of turnovers and put us in great field position offensively.
Is this a case of you guys being that good or them being that bad?
You know, I can't even answer that question properly, to be honest. I just think we're a team. Usually we get on a roll right about now, and that's all we're trying to do is play the best football that we can for the remainder of the year. And that was a good first half, but we still got 30 minutes to go, and we won't let up.
Good luck in the second.
Thank you.
Now let's go upstairs to Mark and Darren.
Thanks, Brenda. Danny Barrett's Rough Riders, the opportunists in the first half, feasting on 21 points off Tiger Cat turnovers and a landslide lead.
The CFL on CBC. Brought to you by Subway Restaurants. Subway. Eat fresh. And by Dodge and their retailers. Grab life by the horn.
Saskatchewan 34, Hamilton 3 as we get set to start the second half of this one-sided football game. You know, coming out of training camp, the Hamilton Tiger Cats are rated as the most improved team over last season. Darren, how can so many talented football players make such a mess of not only this game but the season so far?
Well, I'm trying to get my arms around that one. You see Jason Moss at quarterback, who's had great years in Edmonton. You see Terry Vaughn, who's the all-time leading receiver in CFL history, Mike Morielli, Josh Ronick, Corey Holmes. Why aren't these great players performing? And I think it's a combination of things. I think some blame has to go to the offensive scheme, has to lay in Joe Palpal's lap a little bit, but otherwise it's got to be effort and determination by these guys not coming together and not playing hard.
5 turnovers, 4 of them fumbles. What does that tell you? It tells you a team that's not playing with the normal grit that you see at Ivor Wynne Stadium.
Absolutely.
Right now, let's go downstairs, and here's Brenda with the Ticat head coach.
Well, actually, Mark, I'm not with Ron Lancaster. For the first time since I can remember, he refused to do an interview, just said no, he did not want to do it now. Obviously too upset about his team's performance during that first half of play, and boy, it's ugly down here. The fans are really getting on the players, so be interesting to see what happens now in the second half, and if Coach Lancaster could get his troops all in line for the second half. Mark.
Thank you, Brenda. You can just see the posture on that Ticat bench is one of dejection, and they still got a half of football to go here in this ugly night.
I went into Coach Lancaster's office before the game, sat down, talked with him. He was relaxed. He was confident. I asked him about changes offensively after not playing well last week. He said, we're not going to change anything. We'll try to get a few more touches with Corey Holmes, but what we have in place can get it done if we execute.
And he was saying yesterday that the hardest part about this losing spree is changing the mental outlook of the team. He said to win you have to believe you can win, and when you lose so often you start to lose that.
Yeah, when you start losing, you almost expect to lose. I've been on teams that have been in that situation where, yeah, we'll go play the football game, but at some point something's going to happen and we're going to lose the game. It's almost like you learn to lose football games, and you don't want to do it consciously, but subconsciously it's in there, and it just happens. And the turnovers are reason enough to be behind 34-3, but also the execution is very poor for the Ticats.
The Ticats have told us to a man that there has been no finger pointing through all of the downtimes this year. It's been a united locker room. So the only question we keep getting is why or why not from the media. And they've tried to stay positive, but boy, this is tough. Here's Willie Quinney now. Straight upfield. I go too. And wrestled down as he crosses the 45-yard line. A 25-yard return as Jason Moss gets set to start this second half.
I like the fact that Moss is coming back out and playing, and we'll see what he did in the first half. 13 for 21 is not that bad as far as a percentage. 81 yards is what's really hurting, not making the plays. All the short, 6 for 9 to the left, 5 for 6 to the right short. Only 2 passes up, really upfield. They need to make big plays. You don't score without big plays.
And the book on Jason Moss, Danny Barrett saying yesterday, is he likes the home run. He likes the big play. Take that away from him, and he gets frustrated. And that's been the trend this year. Here's Moss on first down, across the middle, complete to Terry Vaughn. Vaughn is tackled quickly as Reggie Hunt fills from the linebacker position. And let's take a look at the first half for Moss. It started with an incomplete pass on his first series. They looked for the screen, and he fumbled the football for the second time in a row, returned for a touchdown. He was harassed in the backfield, and he couldn't get on the same page with his receivers. 2nd and 4, and his pass is knocked down by Terrell Jeriniak. Jeriniak fighting off the right tackle, Damian Cook, and Moss, you can tell, is furious again.
Yeah, again, it's not all Jason Moss. The offensive line has been suspect, to say the least. They've been pretty porous today. And here, this example, you're not getting Jereniak's hands down. You got to get his hands down when you're throwing quick routes.
But Darren, his offensive line has been a tossed salad all year. Only 1 guy returned from last year. They've had 4 right tackles. There's Damian Cook not getting the job done, and Moss's pass was deflected. An end-over-end punt from Fleming, bouncing to Dorsey. Flags fly as Tad Cornegay makes the tackle, and this will no doubt be no yards again against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Rocky Butler in relief again this week and doing a fine job as we check his first half pass distribution.
I tell you, Rocky is getting it done. He's 11 for 15, 155 yards, but look, he's all over the chart. Deep, 3 for 4 to the right side, 1 for 3, making big plays. I mean, I was interested to see if Rocky Butler could make the reads upfield, read the defense, and put the ball on the money, come off the number 1, go to number 2, and he's done that extremely well.
Roughriders certainly fortified at quarterback using their number 3 man here in times of injury, and he's been leading them successfully. Here's Kenton Keith zigzagging his way up the middle, and Joanne Armour stops him as he has a gain of about 4 yards on the play. It's been a miserable first half with 4 fumbles, 5 turnovers in all. Fred Perry with the touchdown there. And Butler with the naked bootleg gets his first rushing touchdown of the season. 2 big 30-plus yard strikes to Matt Dominguez for 2 touchdown passes through the air. So success on the offensive side for Saskatchewan and duress for Hamilton. On the ground again, Kenton Keith looking a little bit more vigorous here in the second half on the ground. He'll be close to a first down.
Well, they haven't had to depend on him, or didn't have to depend on him so much in that first half. When he touched it, he ran well, and again, he's running well. He is still the guy that makes everything go offensively for the Riders. Because he is running well, that opens everything up for the receivers and for Rocky Butler. And let's not forget, 21 of their points has come off of the Hamilton Ticats turnovers. That's a huge chunk of what they've gotten done tonight.
6-yard gain for Kenton Keith and a first down for Saskatchewan. They go on the ground again. Keith bouncing outside, gets a block, and is tripped up in front of the Rider bench. Joe Armour is the animated Tiger Cat along the sideline. The gain will be 3.
Well, they broke contain this time to get out the left side, but I would be, and so let's watch out here, see if this is a holding or not. That's what Armour, yeah, right there. I mean, I saw it the first time and thought it was, and he's doing his job. Armour, he's fighting to keep contained, but he's being held.
Looked like Chris Zarka tackled him. Second down, little over 6 to go. Hamilton blitzing. Butler under pressure. He gets away. Now he throws. Look at that effort. It's complete to Matt Dominguez for a Saskatchewan first down. Butler using his legs to evade the rush and his arm to get the first down.
Nice defensive call here. They bring the pressure off the left edge. Makes him step up, have a chance to wrap him and bury him, Tim Cheatwood, but doesn't get him. But kudos to Rocky Butler stepping up in the pocket and just remaining calm. Hey, there's 1, there's 2. I'll spin out of this, set myself, and deliver it while I'm getting crushed.
Great presence to get away and then look up for a receiver, and a first down with a 13-yard pickup. Butler again, time in the pocket, stays in there, fires again, and nearly intercepted. Renard Cox knocked it down. Andy Fantuz was the nearest receiver.
Yeah, Rocky Butler has all day to throw. If we remember, Jason Moss on the other side has to get rid of it or he's getting buried. Now he's got a lot of time. This one, ill-advised, I would say. You know, he tried to push that one into traffic and almost picked off by the Tiger Cats.
Butler's preparation has been studious. They say he's like a sponge the way he soaks up information. This week finally getting most of the reps in practice. Last week getting just about 25%. Butler again firing across midfield, intended for Jason Armstead, who's been quiet tonight in the receiving corps for Saskatchewan, and incomplete. Armstead, of course, nursing a nagging groin injury, but staying in the lineup.
Yeah, it's important to have a guy like Armstead continue in the lineup as we see Kenton Keith being worked on. That's what I was starting to think as we get into the second half of a game that's wrapped up with guys like Kenton Keith, maybe a Jason Armstead who's already banged up, might take away their playing time, sit them, give someone else a chance to step in and play a little bit. Certainly Bracey could come in at running back for Kenton Keith, and he's been playing well. give him some time.
3rd and 10. And Kanji mercifully trying to run the clock down here early in the 3rd quarter.
Got a little too cute with it.
Didn't get it off. It'll be a time count violation for the rookie punter.
You know, Kanji had been taking heat, and you know, his average punt is about 10 yards less than other guys within the league at 36. But a lot of the time he was kicking these out of bounds, so against teams with dangerous returners, that's not hurting him. Now what he's done tonight is mishit a few punts into the middle of the field, where if you do that against some of these great returners in this league, and there's so many of them, you're going to get in trouble.
And the flip side is he's hit 19 straight field goals.
Well, he's safe on the field goal end. I'll tell you, he's becoming Mr. Automatic.
Do you think that might be one area the Roughriders might address is the punting situation should they get on a roll here in the second half of the season?
Saskatchewan 46.
I think it absolutely is an area of the team that will be addressed with the new regime of Eric Tillman coming in.
Kitwana Jones called for procedure.
Yeah, you just see as usual, I was late to the Telecaster, but his head just bob up there, try to draw him off sides.
Telecaster?
Stratocaster, Telecaster, I don't know, guitar.
Illustrator, whatever.
There it is.
And Kanji again with not much leg there. It bounces to the 40. Corey Holmes with a shift. Gets free, and then they take him down. Neil Hughes, the backup running back, limits his old teammate to a return of just 12.
Experience is as pleasant as possible.
CBC Sports and Sony Canada are proud to bring you today's game in high definition. From the stadium to your living room, Sony brings you the full power of HD.
Lots of opportunities.
34-3, and still lots of time in this football game. It's not over yet. 9:42 to go in the 3rd quarter.
You're right. I mean, but the Ticats desperately need to do something offensively, and they got great field position here from their own 52. They got to get down. They got to start scoring touchdowns.
Great field position for Moss. Rolling the pocket, stepping up, throwing to the flats, and it's short. A one-hopper incomplete in front of Terry Vaughn. That's execution. You got to make those plays.
Well, I'll tell you that one. He stepped up after getting pressure, looked upfield. His receivers were covered extremely well. So you see his vision looking upfield. Not there. All right, now I'm going to dump it. If Terry Vaughn catches it, it's a 2-yard loss. You know, for me, lucky it skipped anyway.
Jason Moss is looking for so many ways out of this situation. He told me yesterday he even looked back at one of his old Edmonton game films against Saskatchewan 2 years ago to look at his mechanics and to see how well he played against Saskatchewan. In 2 games that year, he averaged 300 yards passing. Here's Moss again.
Wow.
And Josh Ronick makes the catch and is hit quickly. The gain will be maybe 3.
Watch the left side of the offensive line. I mean, that's a dead sprint to Jason Moss, so he has to get rid of the ball quickly. His only option is Josh Ronick, and I mean, you see him just fly through the defensive line of scrimmage.
Riders are still flying.
Jonta Woodard at left tackle and George Hudson at guard just got.
What do you make of that, of a veteran quarterback going back to his previous game film from his previous team?
To me, that's a guy, yeah, he's working. He's trying to find something. Is it my feet, my footwork, something in my delivery? But for me, it's not. For me, it's the team and the offense that he's working in that's killing him.
What a rocket from Pat Fleming. Gets a big bounce, and it'll stop a yard shy from the out-of-touch line. And there's another score as the crowd erupts. Ticats have 4 here in the 3rd.
To our lucky fan in the yellow hat, thank you.
Rob Hitchcock wearing the microphone tonight. Let's check in what thoughts he's having in this slaughter.
Hey, the panel, CBC. Wish I knew what was up to tell you, fellas. I wish I knew what was going on. I don't know anything right now. Let's go. Middle wedge. Let's see if we can bring the ball back. Get some points now. Let's go.
2 sides of Rob Hitchcock. On the one, frustration, bewilderment at what's happening this season. On the other, let's rally the troops and get something going on special teams. You know he won't give up. A double tight end formation for Saskatchewan here on 1st down at their own 35. And they'll go on the ground. Kenton Keith has found it a lot tougher this week after rushing for 148 last week, and Tim Cheatwood makes the tackle.
Yeah,
after gain 4.
Makes a great play on this play. He's at defensive end, peels back in, makes a great tackle on Kenton Keith. Holds him to only a 4 or 5 yard gain. You watch Cheatwood from the left side of your screen right there come off his block. You can see the frustration as he throws him down on the ground on his head.
Kenton Keith, the report from the Saskatchewan bench is that he has a bruised thigh and will stay in the game, as we see. Butler now, time, firing. It's complete. And Jason French has his first catch. He had 1 catch last week and 3 drops. And he's in first down territory.
You can see the difference as Rocky Butler drops back. There's open receivers, and the Ticats are playing man-to-man coverage. He had open receiver to the left. I think Corey Grant was running a post pattern down the middle of the field to the right open. You just don't see that when Jason Moss drops back to pass. People are covered extremely well, and he really has nowhere to throw it.
It's a gain of 9 on the catch by Jason French and a first down just shy of the 50. Butler handing off to Armstead, cutting around to the short side, and the small receiver is hit by the middle linebacker Steve Josu after a gain of 5, maybe 6, and there's an injured Tiger Cat. It's Roger Dunbrack, the defensive tackle, who's down.
Nice play by Josu, again running laterally and making a play. I think he's played well enough to at least deserve another look there at the middle linebacker spot. I mean, it's I guess a moral victory that they're holding Kenton Keith and in this running game under 70 yards as opposed to the 250 plus last week.
Dunbrack is up and standing as Chris Puskas, the Ticat trainer, addresses his concerns. Jason Armstead with 6 touchdowns so far this season. The former Renegade, 5 through the air, 1 on the ground, hooking up with his battery mate from Ottawa, Kerry Joseph. They were lethal early in this season. Here he is at quarterback on the throwback to Kerry Joseph. This one went 34 yards down the sideline and a big touchdown dive by Kerry Joseph. So he's got 6 and he's thrown for 1. How about that?
He's tremendous and a great pickup out of Ottawa this year. But you have Armstead, you have Kerry Joseph, obviously Eric Tillman stamps all over them. I got just thinking about it. Rocky Butler's playing so well and the team playing well behind him. Is there any type of quarterback controversy that Butler's playing well, and why change it if it's working?
Well, with Marcus Crandall said to be out for 4 to 6 weeks, they're lucky to have a guy like Butler to be the backup when Kerry Joseph comes back, and he's accurate again there to Corey Grant, who steps out of bounds for another first down.
That's kind of, I guess, the flip side to my questions, that he's playing well and they're winning, but they're beating the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and how to judge that about whether they're just that good or the Ticats have played that poorly. As we see Corey Grant, the Stony Creek native, right here.
Boy, making good. There's Kerry Joseph in uniform and the #2 quarterback tonight, but getting another week to rest that bruised knee, and he'll have another long week before Labor Day, thanks to the help of Rocky Butler.
For every time you rest a bruised knee or an injury, that's an opportunity for somebody else. And in this case, it's Rocky Butler's opportunity. This is, I mean, professional sports. I used to talk about this with my brother Doug all the time. They would want you to rest up. You know, your knee hurts. Well, I don't want to rest up because someone's out there trying to take my job. Right now, Rocky Butler is trying to take people's job. I mean, that's the way it is.
And other teams in this league have struggled when losing their quarterback.
Saskatchewan,
the Argos
69,
struggled without Damon Allen. Winnipeg Blue Bombers are struggling without Kevin Glenn, and the Riders are hitting on all cylinders, albeit against the hapless
there's
Tiger
the big
Cats.
chill right there, jumping a bit early. You know, he's 40 years old. He needs the head start. In this case, it was a penalty. But, you know, when you're winning, it's tough to make changes all the time. But I guess the Riders adjust to change fairly well, don't they?
They do. 1st and 15 on the penalty. The handoff to Kenton Keith, and Steve Josu takes him down as he loses his footing. It's a flag and a penalty coming here again to Saskatchewan. Josu getting his first start at middle linebacker. after the ankle injuries to Bobby Brooks and Augie Baronicia, both out this week. And Josu, who Ron Lancaster says has a nose for the football,
Holding.
has acquitted himself well.
53. Penalties decline.
I do think he's played well today. I mean, they haven't run the ball as effectively, the Riders, speaking of the Riders, as they did a week ago. And Josu's been around the football, moved laterally, made the play off the edge, as well as the ones up the middle.
Charles Thomas with another infraction, declined by Hamilton. 2nd and 11, Saskatchewan. Ib Tunkara now into the game at receiver for the Roughriders. Looking for his first catch this season. Rocky Butler under pressure, throws it away, and incomplete. A smart decision for the quarterback. And there's some bad blood after the play.
Well,
Joanne Armour again in the thick of it.
It was Armour and Adriano Belli. Kind of Belli's form of celebration was to whack him on the head and throw him down to the ground. That was really the confrontation.
Mikowski, who had his nose in there too, though.
Yeah, Gene Mikowski did jump in at the end and then give Armour a little shot. Little love tap. Great coverage by the Ticats. Pressure by Armour.
There's Armour here.
Adriana Bello.
There's Mikowski with a little shove. And he got out of there quickly.
It was a little shove. I think Belly had the bigger shove.
Davis Reed preaching discipline at the Cat bench. Kanji to punt. This one from the 50. A line drive, one of his better punts of the evening to Corey Holmes at his own 10. Holmes trying to get outside, and he does. Flags all over the place. Holmes breaks a tackle and knocked out of bounds. And this one looks like it will be coming back. A 17-yard return. You're watching the CFL on CBC. Next Saturday, BMX riders move to a Brazilian beat. It's the World Championships, rolling out the winners. And back to business in Britain. England swings with some talented boatmen and women. The World Rowing Championships from Eden. Coming up on Sports Saturday. Back at Ivor Stadium, the cheerleaders, about the only ones with a smile on their face at Ivor tonight. The home team down by 30, and 2 penalties on that 17-yard return by Holmes to put the ball back at the 5. Moss, play action. A little bubble screen to DJ Flick, reaching out past Omar Morgan, and another flag in the secondary now.
This one looks like it's going to go against Corey Holmes, trying to block on the edge, potentially, but I like the fact that Moss is still in the game because they're going to win or lose football games with him at quarterback. So here's the quick screen, and watch Corey Holmes trying to get a block there down at the bottom, blocks him from the back. I think that's what called. We'll see.
Holding. Hamilton 3. Half the distance from the 5. Still first down.
Right you are. The call against Corey Holmes.
Yeah, we'll watch him right here. As he loses him, he just kind of tackles him, which we've seen a little bit. On offense, tackling is bad. Defense, tackling is good.
Thank you for that little primer. Second down. Ball on the 2 as they go half the distance to the goal line. Josh Ronick straight up the gut. There's a contest being held by the Hamilton Spectator right now. The contest is who'll score guess who'll score the first touchdown at home, right? And if you win the contest, you get 4 tickets to next week's game and on Labor Day. And so far, there may not be any winners.
They're running out of games. Yeah, right. I mean,
they're trying to have some fun with it, trying to inject some levity into what's been a downcast situation in Steeltown.
Yeah, if you're in that offense and you're fighting out there, this is not a funny situation you're going through.
2nd and 8. Moss in his end zone, thrown to the wide side. Wide open is Terry Vaughn, and Vaughn puts his head down against James Johnson and moves the ball to the 30-yard line. One of the biggest offensive plays of the game for Hamilton.
Yeah, broken coverage here. Terry's just the inside receiver on the strength of their offense, which just means wide field side, and they just leave him alone. Uh-oh, I don't like that.
He's moving further away from you as the CFL leader all-time in receptions.
You know,
needs just 12 to become the first receiver to get 1,000.
That's a huge mark, 1,000 receptions.
Moss in the pocket. He's intercepted. Jackie Mitchell has the football for Saskatchewan, and he's headed down the sidelines, breaks a tackle, and finally brought down. The 6th turnover of the football game by the Tiger Cats, and Jackie Mitchell with his first interception of the season.
Yeah, we got Ticat receivers all huddled up over there. There's 1, 2 right behind each other, but more importantly than that, there's a Rough Rider in between them and the quarterback. Jackie Mitchell makes the interception. I mean, that's his first interception of the night. I mean,
in the play before that, 23 yards was the best Hamilton offensive play of the game, and then tough luck for Jason Moss as he throws the interception.
I was premature. I kept saying 6 turnovers before that, but I was just kind of looking forward.
Right.
Yes, foreshadowing.
That's what they call it.
That's a good word. It's a long, big word.
Butler hands off to Kenton Keith through traffic. And he's tackled from behind. Jasu involved again on the play at middle linebacker for the Tiger Cats. It'll be 2nd down and about 6.
All the turnovers and the lack of first downs by these Tiger Cats, as we look at the replay, just puts tremendous pressure on your defense to be on the field fighting for all this time. And look, they're still fighting. You can't pin this one on the defense. They've had trouble in the secondary, which you expect with the injuries and people not there. But up front, they've played a lot better than they did a week ago.
Kenton Keith with a gain of 4 on the play, now just 30 yards from his 3rd consecutive 100-yard rushing game of this season. 2nd and 6 from the 9-yard line of the Tiger Cats. Butler throwing to the end zone, and it's caught. Tunkara, I don't think he was the intended receiver, has his first catch of the season, and it's a touchdown.
This is sweet, being an ex-Tiger Cat to come back. But watch this. He's throwing the out route to Armstead, which goes right by Armstead. Right there, he's wide open. And what a catch. It's kind of like what we used to call throw behind. When you're covered well, they throw it behind so you could adjust to the ball. But I guess I could give Rocky Butler the benefit of the doubt, but I think that was going to Armstead on the out.
Hit Tunkara right in the breadbasket, and he's holding on to the football. His first catch of the year is a touchdown, a 9-yard reception here.
But that's a guy that's just being alert. You know, he wasn't necessarily supposed to go to him. He's supposed to clear out and open the coverage for Armstead. Ball comes his way, he makes a play.
There's a bit of a scrap after the play. And Andre Prue sorting it out with the side judge, Dave Hutton. But scored 28 points now for Saskatchewan off turnovers.
Mom, how you doing? I love you. What's up?
Oh, I just keep seeing Butler play well and make plays, and as they go into the home and away with Winnipeg, you don't consider starting Butler at all, even if Joseph is healthy? I guess you have no comment.
No, I'm just saying it's been a great luxury, and you think of some of, I mean, he's 5 years in the league, and you think about some of the third-string quarterbacks in this league. Danny McManus, your old buddy, was number 3 at one time. Henry Burris was number 3 in Calgary behind Dave Dickinson and Jeff Garcia. Tommy Burgess was a number 3 quarterback in this league.
Objectionable conduct, taunting, Saskatchewan 82. Major foul, unnecessary roughness, Hamilton 31. It will be at the distance from the 5 to the 2.5. Convert.
It was Tunkara and Bradley who were both involved in that catch, and here's the taunting. And Tunkara with Bradley, who was beaten on the play, and then the little bump from Bradley.
But you make a great point about third-string quarterbacks, because at third-string quarterback, there's every chance you may never see the field, but you make what it is out of it. If you study and learn the offense and make the best of every opportunity, you can have the Rocky Butler and Danny McManus stories.
The point after is good. Ip Tunkara celebrating his first touchdown of the year. Danny Barrett now having words with the referee. His team up 41-4. And at this time, we'd like to remind you to log on to cbc.ca/CFL and cast your vote online for the warrior of the game, the player who showed courage, heart, discipline, and determination. And how about Rocky Butler? He's got to be among the leaders at the ballot box here tonight, leading his team to what looks to be a sure victory. 2 games last week coming off in relief and leading them to a 46-15 victory and getting his first start in 2 years tonight. And it's a blowout again.
You know, that a little bit, that third-string quarterback in Rocky Butler speaks to the great job that Roy Shivers had done bringing players into Saskatchewan. I mean, they're 3 deep at quarterback and playing extremely well.
Yes. And speaking of backup quarterbacks, there's Chris Eakin, the number 2 man, all battened down and ready to go, with Richie Williams, the number 3 man, giving him the play from upstairs, and coordinator Joe Pow. And for the 2nd week in a row, Jason Moss has been pulled in the second half.
Well, this is like a mercy pulling here at this point. It's 41-4. And it's just not happening out there for Jason Moss. So we'll put somebody else in and let someone else go through this. It's as you mentioned, it's not lack of effort. It's not lack of ability. Jason Moss has the ability. We've seen it.
And the injured Rough Rider is Shermar Bracey, the exciting young running back who got into the lineup last week. But your heart has to go out to Jason Moss. He was the Eskimos' most outstanding player just 2 years ago. At that time, becoming only the 2nd quarterback in Eskimo history to pass for 5,000 yards. First guy, of course, was Warren Moon.
Of course.
And Ricky Ray has since done that. But he's the man who led his team last year in the playoffs to victory, coming off the bench in the West Semi and the West Final. His fire and leadership picked up a sagging Edmonton football team. And this was going to be his team. He was going to be all by himself now without Ray looking over his shoulder here in Hamilton, and it hasn't worked out no matter how hard he's tried.
Well, my heart goes out to him because I feel he's a very good quarterback, but he's playing within a system that isn't allowing him to get the job done. And I think it's a system that he doesn't believe in with all his heart. He's trying to buy into it, but he just doesn't believe in it, and it shows on the field.
I know he shows up at work every morning at 6:30. He's in the weight room long after everybody's left. This man, Joe Pow, has put in the same long hours.
You can work as hard as you want and as long as you want, but if the system isn't there to execute, you're working towards the wrong goals.
Chris Eakin, first pass is to DJ Flick, and it looks like a first down. Flick saying, let's go hurry up and try to get something going here in the last minute of the 3rd quarter.
Again, make the best of every opportunity you get. And now Eakin is in here and he's saying, hey, this is an opportunity for me to show what I can do. Let's do it.
Eakin again to the flats. Corey Holmes breaks a tackle and digs his way close to the midfield stripe. Eakin, of course, with 4 interceptions and no touchdown passes in his short work this season. Last year he got some work in the late season and looked sharp in his CFL debut.
Eakin has a strong arm and he carries a lot of confidence with him.
Kevin Eakin throwing deep. That's going to be interference for sure. As Kamal Peterson was bulldozed out of bounds by James Johnson.
Well, here Eakin has come into the game and thrown 2 short passes, kind of got his confidence going, and now he rolls out to the left, and we see his strong arm. He's rolling left, for a righty, which is very tough, throwing deep, taking a shot. You got one-on-one coverage, and that's just an obvious pass interference. And this is what you need to move the ball. You got to take your chances.
Receiver, Saskatchewan number 19, 10-yard penalty, first down.
So it's illegal contact on a receiver. It'll be a 10-yard penalty and a first down for the Tiger Cats.
Yeah, you're not allowed to jam the guy down that far downfield. Yeah,
the penalty was called right when the ball was in the air, so it is illegal contact as opposed to interference.
Right.
First down at the 47. Eakin backpedaling in the shotgun, in the flats, and Willie Quinney drops the football. That'll be the last play of the third quarter here in Hamilton.
Here comes the McMaster jersey.
And the night shift in Steeltown at full steam. And the home team suffering badly here as we check the three-quarter stats.
Yeah, we talked about it all game. Points off turnovers 28-0. First down, we're starting to see the Ticats put up some first downs. Now it's only 15-8, but 28-0 off turnovers. Those 6 turnovers have played just a huge part in the game.
2nd and 10 for Kevin Eakin, and the Tiger Cats throwing downfield, nearly picked off, intended for Terry Vaughn. It was in behind him, and Davin Bush got his hands on it in the secondary for Saskatchewan.
A great throw, I think, almost by Kevin Eakin. It's just the coverage by these guys. It's right there. He could have let them, you know, a few more yards, would have been perfect. But with this tighter coverage, you really have to thread the needle. And it's not going to happen every time you let go of the ball.
Pat Fleming, who has had a great night punting. 5 of his 7 punts have been over 50 yards. He's had a 71-yarder, a 74-yarder, and an 81-yard punt this evening. Draining the clock, the hourglass so slowly, and he shanks this one off the side of his foot, trying to angle it out of bounds. It won't get there, but it goes past Dorsey and right to the 5-yard line. Dominic Dorsey loses his footing as he cuts upfield, and the return is just 3 yards. Once again, we remind you, next weekend it's the Labor Day Classic, the CFL on CBC. Ricky Ray and the struggling Edmonton Eskimos come off a bye week at 3-6 to take on the Stampeders in the Battle of Alberta. Then it's Damon Allen and the crusading Toronto Argonauts right here at Ivor Wynn for the nightcap. The Labor Day doubleheader coming your way next week, and the official signal to the end of summer holidays here in Canada. Rocky Butler, his numbers pretty darn good. Again, no interceptions tonight. 3 touchdown passes, had 2 last week, total of 5. His first ever touchdown passes in CFL play.
He was so excited before this game to get the start and confident he was going to do well. It's great to see him have a good game.
Bracey back in the game. He takes the handoff out of the shotgun formation. And that's another change that has come to this Saskatchewan running game. They've gone back to something they used more last year, using the shotgun and handing off deep and not having a designated hole, letting the running back find daylight.
You see it here with Bracey, and you see his eyes immediately at that depth at 5-6 yards. You can see where the hole is, you know, who potentially is going to make the tackle, and they start making cuts in the backfield. Extremely advantageous for Kenton Keith. He wore that out last week.
Tommy Condell graciously accepted the ideas of Danny Barrett and George Cortez, who both come from that John Huffnagel system. and deciding to ignite the running game with that shotgun handoff, and it's worked the last few weeks. That pass, a bullet intended for Andy Fantuz and incomplete, a little bit behind him. And so the Riders will have to punt on 3rd down. Fantuz getting to play in Southern Ontario as a pro for the first time, and 40-odd friends and family all decked out in green and white, and they're still here hanging on to the bitter end.
Oh, why not?
Driving up the 401 from Chatham this evening, and you can see the crowd has thinned out, and that's the other alarming part of this Ticat drought, in that this is the 3rd year of their 3-year season ticket package. They've averaged 27.8, tremendously successful in the stands, and they've yet to send out the new packages because the team's playing so poorly, and they're hoping for a turnaround to try to inspire people to renew.
That's what will make me think that they have to do some type of big change to show to the fans of Hamilton that, hey, as they take another safety here to get them up, they got up to 6 now.
Another 2 points.
They've tripled their output.
Fans standing in mock approval of their Tiger Cats, who hit 6. Welcome back to Ivor Win. Mark Lee with Darren Flutie, Brenda Irving on the sidelines. Glad you can join us this evening. A 41-6 Saskatchewan lead here in the 4th quarter. And to football fans in the States watching in, and something like 70 million households can now get the CFL on CBC. A special hello to you as you watch this one-sided game. Here's Kevin Aiken rolling, throwing late, intended for Kamau Peterson, and incomplete as the middle linebacker Mike McCullough comes in to break it up.
Nice play by McCullough, coming all the way from that middle linebacker position. And you see him working out right there. But Peterson also, as you see him go to his knees and wait for the ball, you got to keep fighting back for the ball because you don't know who's going to come and knock it away.
2nd and 10. Eakin rolling to the wide side, nobody there. Now he throws down the middle. Terry Vaughn makes the catch, and Jackie Mitchell makes the tackle. But a 1st down as the Ticats move the yardsticks. The offense responsible for just 2 of the 6 points on the board tonight. The other 2 coming on safeties.
Yeah, nice job by Eakin getting out of the pocket, buying time behind the line of scrimmage, and finding Terry Vaughn. I think Terry Vaughn needs more threats around him. He's so effective over the middle, but teams have been focusing on him when he's the only real threat offensively.
Eakin's pass is dropped by Brock Ralph. A low pass and incomplete. Terry Vaughn has 4 catches for 44 tonight.
I think that the mark of Terry Vaughn, as we watch the instant replay here, of approaching 1,000 career receptions, and you think of all the receivers that have played in the Canadian Football League, and that has not been accomplished up here. I mean, that is an amazing mark.
It's 10 away, and that was sure far from his mind right now, as Eakin finds time in the pocket. What a catch! Mike Morreale reaching out in traffic and bringing it down for a 1st down. 17 yards.
Well, one thing is Eakin looks really good. He's moving in the pocket, delivering the ball, but this is what you want from your receivers. We've seen Vaughn do it, and now we see Mike Morreale, the veteran, making a, I mean, that's an amazing catch right there.
And with that catch, Morreale moves past the 5,000-yard receiving plateau as a Tiger Cat receiver, joining an elite field of 9. Here's Josh Roddick now finding a hole in this prevent Sask defense, and he'll have another 1st down.
Yeah, this is nice. This is good, exciting stuff, even though Saskatchewan's dropping back. But watch, he's looking upfield, drops it to Josh Roddick, and watch Mike Morreale come back right there and just get enough of him to free Roddick to pick up 10 more yards. That's what you need, the effort. The effort's still there. Hey, 10:46 left. Maybe a bit optimistic, but they're down 35 points, 5 scores.
A 19-yard gain and another Hamilton 1st down. Good for Warrior, Rocky.
Yeah, I hate.
We invite you to log on to cbc.ca/CFL and cast your vote for Warrior of the game. And let us know who showed true grit here today and Dominguez, a couple of touchdown catches, getting rested now in the late stages of this game. He warrants some consideration. I think Rocky Butler, though, has to be the favorite.
Good choices. I mean, Luka Kanji has really been a warrior today.
What?
Just trying to see if you're paying attention to anything I say.
Thank you for that little test. And the night looked like this for the big man, Matt Dominguez. 6 catches, 119 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The injured rider, Luke Molinder, but big smiles on the big leader, Dominguez. And let's see if we can find out how Molinder got banged up. Darren?
Yeah, well, enough. The tackles have been beat so often outside, and he just gets rolled on. You know, it's so tough to tell what happens when you get rolled on by a big body like that.
Well, here's something to smile about tonight, the work and production of Matt Dominguez. The bomb where he was wide open, touchdown in the first half. 37 more yards, nice catch. Nobody there, though. Breaks the tackle, his second touchdown. And he dug in and did some plumbing with some big catches down the middle in support of Rocky Butler. 6 for 119, 2 touchdowns. And Matt Dominguez is rounding back into form after that terrible knee injury right here last year. Here comes the blitz. Eakin in trouble. Gets rid of the football, and that'll be grounding as he couldn't get the pass across the line of scrimmage.
I tell you, Jereniak has been everywhere. Again, they're working on the tackles of the Hamilton Tiger Cats and just flying by him. You'll see him down below.
Intentional grounding.
I mean, he just beats him with speed, and
it's the ball was thrown.
Again, that Damian Cook, who we talked about earlier in the game. You got to slow him up somehow. Give your quarterback a chance.
And there's another injured rider. It's big Nate Davis now prone on the field, and he has been bothered this year with a bad knee. He had some surgery on it during the offseason, but told me it still gives him a lot of difficulty. We'll check on Nate Davis when we come back as we take a break here in Hamilton. Nate Davis taking a seat at the Saskatchewan bench, making his way off the field. And up in the booth next to Bernie Custis, the new general manager and vice president of football operations for Saskatchewan. Eric Tillman looking a little concerned, and he was on his cell phone fairly quickly after Davis went down. And Eric feeling rather comfortable with some of the former Renegades he brought to the league in the Saskatchewan lineup this year. Some very key skill position players.
To me, Eric Tillman is a guy that has just hit the lottery.
Yeah.
He's inherited a very good football team with a very good chance to make a run in the playoffs. You know, they're playing extremely well going into Labor Day.
Let's go to the sidelines now. Here's Brenda for the latest on Nate Davis.
Well, an update on him. The good news is it wasn't his knee that he hurt on that play. It actually was his ankle, and apparently he will be okay. Whether or not he goes back into the game tonight is another question, but the trainer here says that he should be okay to play next game.
Thanks, Brenda. Procedure was the call against the Cats. The last penalty. Nate Davis, though, has battled through a bad back, bad knee, now the ankle. It's 2nd and 29 for the Tiger Cats. 6 plays in this drive, their longest offensive drive of the year. They're going deep. Eakin looking for Flick. And it's intercepted by James Johnson, the rookie. What an athletic play. And this one's coming down the sidelines. Johnson cuts upfield, still on his feet, and finally pancaked by Marwan Hage, a 48-yard interception return. James Johnson's first interception of his CFL career in just his 2nd game. And the 5th interception of the year thrown by Kevin Eakin.
This is what the Ticats wanted. They got one-on-one coverage over to this right side. 4 receivers to the left saying, all right, we got our playmakers in there, DJ Flick. We can beat a guy one-on-one. but just a great play by James Johnson. I mean, that is something you want to do. You want to get a guy in one-on-one coverage.
Player was down by contact.
Todd Lancaster has his challenge flag out.
First down, Saskatchewan
just for the spotting of the ball on the return.
Yeah, they're going to rule him down by contact, it looks like.
He can recognize this. Hey, I got 4 receivers to the left. I got 1 with a lot of field to the right. Let's take a chance, try to beat him deep. And in this situation, DJ Flick has to come back and try to make a play. He's waiting for it to come down and land.
Now, do you think this is down by contact?
I'm just looking at the great interception. I don't see him touched at that point.
And now Danny Barrett's got the challenge flag out.
Yeah. No, I think he should be able to get up and run.
Barrett looking to win his first challenge of the year. He's 0 for in that department.
Yeah, it's from a receiver standpoint, when you get a heavy dose of man-to-man coverage, you got to be one guy. You have to do it consistently, whether it's a go route or just a curl route.
It's challenging the ruling on the field. The ruling on the field was player was down by contact. We'll review the
Yeah, this looks like one that might get reversed. I don't think he was touched.
So James Johnson has his first CFL interception in his second start at corner, replacing Armando Curry, who lost his job to the rookie. And Andre Prue goes under the tarp to have a look.
You know, Kevin Egan was playing extremely well, and they got him in a situation that you want to take that deep shot, that one-on-one coverage all alone. And I think his receiver let him down here. Come back and at least knock the ball away. If you can't catch it, knock it away.
A great catch by Johnson to get one hand on it, falling down.
I mean, again, a guy taking a replace for the starter, Armando Curry, who steps in and happens to be a great athlete, make plays. A lot of jostling going on there, too. I mean, interference one way or the other was a potential call.
Well, the refs let them fight for the ball.
Yep.
Great catch.
After
off
reviewing
balance.
the play, the Saskatchewan player intercepted the ball. As he's going down, he's touched by Hamilton, so the play is dead at the 3-yard line. First down, Saskatchewan.
So the call will stand, down by contact. And the 48-yard return is wiped out.
Not a big deal, but he wasn't touched. I mean, he didn't have control until he hit the ground.
Danny Barrett now 0 for 5 in challenges this season. That's the only setback for them this night.
7 turnovers.
7 turnovers now. 9:36 to go on a long night here in Hamilton. Most of the fans have gone home.
Except the ones wearing green.
And some of the Rider faithful and some of the Ticat faithful waiting. Of course, the 50-50 draw has yet to be held. So Rob Creefo, our spotter, I think he's got tickets. He's waiting for that too.
He said he bought one for me, so I think I got a chance.
Bracey up the gut, and you can see that stadium is virtually half empty now.
I mean, how long do you hang in here? I mean, this is 3 straight home games without an offensive touchdown. And you come out, you try to support your team, but you want to see that coaches and management are putting an effort in. Something's happening to improve the team. And at this point, it's like watching a rerun of the last 2 home games.
Well, as Elliott said off the top of the broadcast, they have a miserable record, and yet the fans have supported this team tremendously. Near capacity crowds every night. Butler in the end zone, throwing deep downfield. And it's intended for Andy Fantuz, and the ball sails out of the stadium.
Yeah, up 41-6 with 8 minutes left in the 4th. They're going for an out and up. Try to get the 104-yarder.
Or do you concede another safety?
Well, that would put them. Wow, that would put them at 8 points. That would be amazing.
George Hudson, one of the former Renegades, signing here as a free agent in the offseason. Encouraged by all the other free agent signings, like former teammate in Ottawa, Josh Ronick.
Yeah. Ryan Donnelly, local product from McMaster. and in quality signings they had in the offseason, which led to a lot of optimism in Hamilton that hasn't materialized.
So they fired Greg Marshall, their head coach, 4 games into the season at 0-4. And here they are about to go 2-9. Time count violation here against Kanji as he runs the clock down.
Time count violation. Saskatchewan.
Where do they go from here, Darren?
Half the distance.
Well, you know, I think the thought was
third down.
that they're going to wait to the end of the season, find that new head coach. If anything happens on the general manager end, do that in the offseason. But I think they owe it to the fans. And it's no knock on Ron Lancaster. I don't think he expected to be a head coach here again for a long period of time. Get your head coach right now. Get the house in order. Get a GM if you're going to make a change at GM. Do it now.
Kanji will concede 2 more. All right, so let's look at the scoring for the Cats tonight. 2 points on offense and 6 by Saskatchewan safeties. 3 safeties, and it's 41-8.
I don't know. I don't know if I should laugh at that or
Cry?
Be pretty depressed. Yeah, cry. I don't think I'm going to cry. But
so you're saying, though, that it's time now to bring in a head coach?
Yeah, they did it in Saskatchewan. They did it this week coming off a big win. And did it affect them tonight? No. I mean, life goes on. You keep working. You keep playing. You're professionals. Let's start making the moves. And I say let's. If you're with the Hamilton Ticats, make the moves that are towards the future. If it's players, let's get those players out of here. Bring someone else in. If it's coach, bring the coach in. If it's general manager, let's start working. Because if you do it in the off season, well, then you only have training camp to get ready for next year.
Ticats will take the ball at their 35.
Here
comes Saskatchewan on the blitz. Kevin Aiken rolling away from the pressure. Stopping, looking backside. Gets away from Schultz. Now he throws deep downfield. Intended for Brock Ralph. It's picked off by Donnie Ruiz, the backup safety. Ruiz now upfield, twisting and turning, and finally brought down as he crosses the 35-yard line. 8th turnover of the game for the Tiger Cats, and this has gone from the sublime to the ridiculous tonight. 39-yard return by Donnie Ruiz.
Well, look at the play. I mean, a great effort by Aiken again. He's scrambling, and he finds a guy breaking up the field. And again, as we talked about with DJ Flick, watch at the end where Brock Ralph is looking to catch this. Down on the ground, waiting for it. You're not going to catch footballs in traffic down near the ground waiting, because guys are going to be up top catching it. It's like a rebound when the ball's up like that. Jump as high as you can. If you can't catch it, knock it away.
Kevin Aiken with his 2nd interception thrown tonight, 6th in the season against no touchdowns. Donnie Ruiz with his 1st pick. And there's Darian Durant into the game now, the 4th string quarterback, if you will, in Saskatchewan. The rookie out of North Carolina who was cut in training camp but stayed around on the practice roster, and now he's getting a chance, his CFL debut. And there's another injured football player on the field. It's looks like Tim Cheatwood. It is. We'll take a timeout with 6:54 to go in the ball game. Tim Cheatwood making his way to the Hamilton bench after taking a wicked hit to the head.
Yeah, if you can watch it, Tim gets in the tackle right here, and watch Peterson, his teammate, come in from the left side. Ooh, head to head, and you see his neck go back. But fortunately, we saw him walking off the field with trainer Chris Puskas, and that's a good sign.
Yeah, Cheatwood was motionless there for a short period of time. Good to see him up and moving. Durant now in the pocket, rolling out. He can run, and he scampers for a 1st down, makes a little stutter step, puts his head down, and gets close to the 10-yard line in a gain of 20 on the run. Rocky Butler now with the clipboard. His day is done. 15 for 24, 193 yards, 3 touchdowns, and again, no interceptions tonight. So 5 touchdown passes in 2 games in relief here for Saskatchewan.
Yeah, a little kid in a candy store. Look at him. Look at the grin. He was so excited pre-game tonight to get into this game and play. I mean, when you're 3rd string quarterback, you don't see the field that much.
Now Durant trying to figure in the scoring for Saskatchewan. Pitching it out. Bracey cuts upfield with a hole and a touchdown. An 11-yard run. And Shermar Bracey, the rookie out of Arkansas State, has his first CFL touchdown. And he'll hold on to the ball.
This may have been a touchdown in tag football. I don't think he gets touched. Oh, maybe right there, not sure. But, you know, we haven't said it enough, but up front, the Riders have just dominated the Ticat defensive line. I mean, both sides of the ball, really. The Riders' defensive line, but especially the offensive line. For 2 straight weeks, they have dominated the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
The point after is good, and Shermar Bracey with a souvenir in his first tour of the Canadian League. And Kenton Keith will hold on to it for him. 35 points now off turnovers for Saskatchewan tonight.
Yeah, here we're going to good look to see if he got touched or not, and I don't think he did. I mean, that's what Coach Lancaster and coaches are going to look at film tomorrow and say, where is the effort? I mean, reaching out with one arm, trying to tackle a guy, this is pro football. I mean, guys, come on. The effort, as Coach Lancaster always says, is the one thing you can control. If you don't have the ability and you're not catching the ball that day or throwing it extremely well, that's, you know, that happens in sports. But the effort, you can always control.
Well, folks, in case you're just joining us with 5:39 to go, here's the way this game has gone. Rocky Butler starting, first time in 2 years. Nice job, 3 touchdowns. Matt Dominguez, 2 catches tonight. Saskatchewan feeding off turnovers, 35 points off 8 Hamilton turnovers. And boy, Hamilton has been outscored now 97-10 in their last 3 home games. And Labor Day looms.
Yeah, Labor Day for Hamilton going into play, well, hosting Toronto. I mean, Toronto has turned into a very good football team, especially defensively at this point. But you look at Saskatchewan on such a roll with all this confidence. I mean, I think Hamilton came along at the right time. You needed confidence going in, but that's kind of what Saskatchewan has done the past few years. They start out so slow, and then they put a run on, and then they're doing it again this year.
They were 6-3 through the second half last year. They're going 3-6 in the first half. And Willie Quinney still putting out an effort here on special teams with a return of 20 yards, and he's delivered some pretty good field position to the Ticat offense. Unfortunately, Moss and Eakin have been unable to take advantage of it as we look at the measly numbers here for Kevin Eakin.
Yeah, his 2 interceptions have come trying to make big plays upfield, where I think his receivers have just kind of waited too long for the ball to come down instead of trying to get up and make a play. Besides that, he's looked decent.
Besides that?
Well, besides the 2 interceptions that... All right, Mark. I'm looking for the positive.
4 receivers to the wide side for Hamilton. Eakin throwing short. Morielli makes the catch and is hit hard by Jackie Mitchell. Mitchell, who has been bothered with hamstring problems this year.
Mike Morielli has looked very, very good tonight. I mean, he only has a few catches, but he's finding the holes, made the tough catch earlier, takes the big hit here. I mean, a guy you can depend on over the middle to make the tough catch.
Eakin rolling. There's pressure from Kitwana Jones, and Fred Perry gobbles him up from behind.
This is just a sprint to the quarterback. Right through Wayne Smith and Damian Cook, right off this side over here. You know, it's like a 40-yard dash, but a 10-yard dash to the quarterback. I mean, no chance to make a play there.
First sack of the night for Fred Perry, his 10th of the year. He had 11 in total last year. He's almost there at the midway mark. Great night for him. Fumble recovery for a touchdown. Pass knockdown. Sack. Making a case again this week for defensive player, maybe lineman of the week. Runner-up at defense last week. Shank punt from Fleming. Here comes Dorsey. Quick move up the middle, and he's brought down at the 54-yard line.
54-yard line.
Next Saturday, BMX riders move to a Brazilian beat. The World Championships roll out the winners. And back to business in Britain. England swings with some talented boatmen and women. The World Rowing Championships from Eton. All next Saturday on CBC Sports Saturday. 4:14 to go as play is whistled in and the clock ticks. Darian Durant, the rookie out of North Carolina, with his second series. Handing off to Dorsey, getting some reps at running back, and he is swung back into the backfield by Devontae Peterson, venting a little frustration. Back down to Rob Hitchcock, all mic'd up tonight.
It's okay, Shell. We're together, huh?
Like a team.
Me and you are together, like a team. We're like a team. One tooth and all. One tooth and all. Like this.
Rob Hitchcock looking a bit like hockey player. Spending some time there with Shalane Shockness, the assistant athletic therapist for the Ticats, as they seek consolation on the bench. Here's Durant rolling, throwing, buying time. It's a high pass. It's complete. Oh, and Jason French took a shot there as Rob Hitchcock came in and helped lower the boom.
Hitchcock still playing hard. Again, though, no matter who it is at quarterback, having trouble containing him. Watch how they lose contain. Armour and I think Cheatwood. Nobody out there with Fantus wide open.
3-minute warning has been given here in Hamilton.
Years under legendary coach Bobby Bowden.
Welcome back to Ivor Wynne Stadium in Hamilton. A 48-8 lead for the Roughriders as we check your Rona game notes.
Well, Rocky 2, return of the Butler. He certainly played well tonight. 3 TD passes, no interceptions. Looked very good at quarterback tonight. Defensively, no Moss. Limit Jason Moss. He had 114 yards passing, just not good enough. That one interception to go with the 6 other turnovers Hamilton committed. And there's Rocky Butler right there. He's, as I mentioned, so excited about this game tonight. He's got to be happy with his performance.
No doubt. Durant now getting a chance to mop up. Handing off to Dorsey. Dorsey off tackle right. And a handful of yards there. 5, maybe 6, and a little bit of pushing and shoving after the play. Hamilton game notes for Rona.
Well, no place like Holmes. Well, home field advantage certainly isn't any good. And Corey Holmes, 2 catches, -6 yards. I really feel like he wasn't given the ball in the right opportunity. He's not a true test of what he can do. That aside, defensively, man in the middle, Steve Jasu, 6 tackles. I think this is a kid that can play. I mean, he's looked good tonight and moved extremely well end to end of the field.
Jason Moss with 183 yards passing in the last 2 games. Long handoff to Dominic Dorsey and a flag on the play as Dorsey gets close to the first down yardage.
You know,
I can't believe 2 touches for Corey Holmes.
Yeah.
No rushes, 2 touches for the runner-up to most outstanding player Damon Allen last year.
Yeah, and as a staff, they had said, hey, listen, we got to give him 10 touches tonight. Let's see whether he can do it or not. I'm looking, you know, thinking about the Tiger Cat offense when I see those stats and thinking they're struggling up front.
Hamilton
as we hear the
32,
call,
5-yard
offsides
penalty,
on Hamilton.
first down.
But there's offensive linemen out there that have experience with the Tiger Cats. I think of a guy like Dave Hack that spent 6 years in Hamilton, and they're struggling so much at the tackle positions. You know, wouldn't a guy like that shore up your offensive line? I don't know. If you're looking for answers, I think it starts up front, and you need to protect the quarterback in open holes.
Corey Holmes, I was talking to him yesterday about how little he's being featured in the Hamilton offense, and he said last year in Saskatchewan, they used him a lot on second down and receivers. Second down as a receiver. Quite often they'd have 6 receivers in the game on second down, and it's not in the Hamilton offense this year under Joe Paupau. And Through it all, though, he's been classy. He has not complained, saying he just wants to help out in whatever way he can. But it sure seems like a waste not to see his talent being used effectively here as Devontae Peterson is helped off the field.
Yeah, Chris Pusk is getting a lot of work tonight with injured players, but getting back to Holmes, I mean, sometimes that could be the best thing because no one offensively seems like they can get anything going. And it may be a good thing that he's not in there because it's just not working offensively.
Dorsey reverses field, scampers up the middle, and he'll be close to another first down as the Riders are moving deep into Hamilton territory in the final couple of minutes. One of your former teammates, Andrew Grigg, was in the booth before the game, and he was amazed that this team, Hamilton, would sign a player as talented as Corey Holmes and want to use him only on kick returns.
Well, that's the thing. You sign a guy like that, and his jersey, as you said, is in the stores and everywhere. You want to market the guy, but when he touches the ball twice a game, he's given no opportunity to be the star you wanted him to be.
Adriana Belli stops Dorsey. There are flags on the play on that 2nd and 1 situation, and Belli showing some spirit in the late stages here.
Unfortunately, grabbed the face mask on the tackle, but it definitely broke through the line of scrimmage.
That's been the Hamilton story this year. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Kenton Keith cooled out tonight, 11 carries for 70 yards. Just about a 7-yard average. How good is that?
That's great, but it's down from his 11.6 a week ago.
And it was the face mask, as you said.
Right, Belli breaks through, but with his left hand, grabs the face mask and decides, hey, I'm not going to let go this time. I mean, that is blatant.
That's bad.
That's a borderline fine right there.
You injure somebody badly like that.
It's not the way it's done.
1st and 10 at the 12 of Hamilton. Durant handing off to Dorsey, and he's surrounded up the middle. And Sam Young finally makes the tackle from the defensive halfback position with 1:43 on the clock. And Saskatchewan keeping the ball on the ground. Nate Davis signing autographs and talking to some of the Green Rider fans who can be found all over this league in large numbers. Let's check the standings and update them as the result of tonight's game. The Ticats fall to 2-9 now, and 6 points behind Toronto in advance of their Labor Day meeting next week. And the Saskatchewan Roughriders will go 500 at 5-5, 1 game behind Calgary. Dorsey twisting and turning up the middle, and is knocked down at about the 2-yard line on 2nd and 9.
By looking at those standings, I mean, look out for those Argos. I really think their defense dictates whether they win or lose games, and their defense is playing tremendous at this point.
Is the season over for Hamilton?
The season is over. Well, not mathematically it isn't over. I guess you never give up. You stay positive, but there's got to be something drastic to happen here for them to start winning football games.
Luka Kanji is into the game now to attempt his 10-yard field goal on 3rd and 1. Looking to make it 20 field goals in a row. Kanji with a sharp angle kick.
Away.
And it's good. So the young man keeps his streak. Easy for me to say.
Potential warrior of the game there. Just killing it.
You're touting Kanji the warrior. That's got the big man squirming back in Winnipeg tonight. So you look at the Cats' upcoming games, a back-to-back series now, Labor Day, and then the week after against Toronto, then back-to-back against Edmonton.
You know, if you are going to make a move to try to get into a playoff spot, what better than to go against Toronto?
You just said the Argos were like scary good now.
They are, but I mean, you got to beat good teams in order to make the playoffs, right? That's what it's all about. I mean, to make a move, you sweep Toronto, but do you think it's possible? I don't think it's possible.
Well, Ron Lancaster was saying a few weeks back, in Hamilton, you don't lose to Toronto and you don't lose on Labor Day. Well, they've lost twice to the Argos this year, and so Labor Day will really be the litmus test, I would think, for this team struggling to win at home, facing its 3rd consecutive loss at home, and a total of 10 points in 3 games scored at home.
No touchdowns in those 10 points.
And that pass is incomplete. intended for Brock Ralph from Eakin.
Actually, worse is that there's no touchdowns, no field goals. Your points have come off of singles and safeties by the other team. So offensively, they are in a funk that, you know, I've been around the CFL since 1991, and I haven't seen a team struggle offensively to the extent that the Hamilton Ticats are struggling.
Well, especially a team as talented,
right,
as the Tiger Cats. 57 seconds to go on the clock. Eakin flushed by Fred Perry, and Perry gets him with some help from behind. Luke Molinder. And Fred Perry will have his second sack of the game and his 11th of the season to tie his total output last year.
I can't help but to watch this matchup. I mean, and see that happen. Just get pushed back in the backfield and collapse the pocket like that. It's just, it's tough. You need the tackles. The tackles have to be the spot that you're really strong offensively, and the Tiger Cats don't have that right now.
So it's 3rd and 23. Pat Fleming getting a workout here tonight. He's had a great night with the leg and about to launch his 10th punt. Danny Barrett and the Roughriders about to head home after sweeping the home-and-home series with the Tiger Cats and moving back to 500, as we mentioned moments ago. The team in turmoil at the beginning of this week after Roy Shivers was fired following their big 46-15 win at home. This will be their biggest win of the season here tonight at Ivor Wynne. Dorsey trying to catch that ball, and now he's got it. Rob Hitchcock in there. It'll be no yards again against the Tiger Cats with 26 seconds to go on the clock. And for the Riders, a lot of home-and-home series this year. They go home-and-home with Winnipeg, beginning with a sold-out game on Labor Day, September 3rd at Mosaic Stadium, and then BC and Edmonton.
Now that's huge. I mean, these Riders-Winnipeg games, those are big games against two teams that are playing very good football. I mean, Winnipeg lost a crazy one last night, but they proved themselves to be a good football team, and Saskatchewan is coming off of two very impressive wins against the Ticats.
Kerry Joseph is expected back in the lineup on Labor Day. Perhaps Kevin Glenn as well, to try to stop a 3-game losing streak for Winnipeg after that 5-2 start. And now they'll just run down the clock as Darian Durant watches the clock tick, and they'll blow the whistle with 17 seconds to go.
But those games, Saskatchewan, Winnipeg, I mean, I would think you agree it's going to have some separation there. I mean, those are huge games to dictate who goes forward and kind of finishes in the money in the West. I mean, the West has proved to be the tougher conference.
But after a week of turmoil, the Saskatchewan Roughriders came together as a football team and have won big again here tonight. The final score, 51-8 for Danny Barrett and the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and their second win in a row. Let's go downstairs, and here's Brenda with the man of the hour.
Rocky Butler leads his team for the second week in a row to a win, and Rocky, last game you gave yourself a C+ grade, you were telling me the other day. What did you think of your performance this one?
I'd say B-, B+. I mean, it's still, you know, I still can, you know, get better at some things and, you know, help our team to progress a little more. You're not
going to want to give Kerry Joseph his job back.
You know, I just want to play whenever my time is called. Whenever they need me, I'm going to be ready. So, you know, we just got to, you know, put some wins together and try to get a home playoff win.
First win.
Home playoff game.
This team faced adversity this week. What does it say about the club that it was able to respond this way?
Everyone was focused this week, and, you know, we knew what we had to do. We had to come out and get another win, you know, make it 2 in a row, and just continue to, you know, have a winning streak. So that's what we did. We focused all week in practice, and we came out and played hard tonight.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Matt Dominguez with 2 touchdown catches tonight. Rocky Butler with his second straight win at quarterback. coming to the aid of a team banged up at quarterback, and it's back to the drawing board for the Tiger Cats.
Well, there's no other way to say it. If you're a Hamilton fan or a Hamilton player or a member of the organization, this was a disgrace. More on the Tiger Cats in a minute. First, the warrior of the game. Danny Barrett was saying yesterday he remembered his first CFL start. He won it 23-8. Well, his quarterback this time, Rocky Butler, was even more impressive. He wins it 51-8. 4 touchdowns for him, 3 passing, and this one on the ground. 2 carries for 20 yards. Butler, and maybe a bit of a quarterback controversy in the future. We'll discuss that as well. But our studio here is located by an exit. Fans have to go right by us to get out. And guys, you could hear the anger. They were furious as they left tonight. They have to make a change before next week, but it's so crucial they make the right one. If you guys were running this team, Sean, what would you do?
Well, one of the first things I was wondering, why didn't we see Richie Williams? And who's Richie Williams, you ask? Richie Williams is the 3rd string quarterback for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. As far as I'm concerned, Kevin Eakin was not the answer here. At least Richie Williams was a wild card. Hey, maybe he might do something.
Played well last week.
Exactly. But what I would do in this situation is blow everything up. We need to clean house. All the management has to go. All the coaches have to go. I'm sorry, they have not been getting it done. And we need to bring in a new crew and bring in some fresh young guys who might be able to get something sparked just from their enthusiasm.
David?
The foreshadowing moment was Obi Trice crying out on the video screen. Everyone should be crying right now, and you have to get rid of. I think you have to figure out a better offensive plan for Jason Moss to be the player that he is. You got to get Corey Holmes more involved. I think you may have to cut a few linemen, do some wheeling and dealing, trading of offensive linemen, because you can't do anything with those guys. With that line.
All right, here's a name, Charlie Taft, former Montreal coach, now out of a job in Maryland. You'll hear that before Labor Day. Quickly, Saskatchewan next week starting quarterback against Winnipeg. Sean, who is it for you? Quick.
Rocky Butler. He's done a great job. I mean, hey, Kerry Joseph's been hurt, but when a guy's got momentum the way Rocky does, you go with it.
Quick.
I'm going to go with Rocky Butler also because he beat Winnipeg the last time they played in the Banjo Bowl. So.
All right, so if both guys say Rocky Butler instead of Kerry Joseph, the vote that counts is Danny Barrett's. We'll see what he does.